Hey, Elgin, let me hold $20 till tomorrow. Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another live stream. Yes, indeed. And we got the brother Taran Matthew in the building. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We're going to talk about the episodes, and we're also going to talk about a little bit of the hoopla going on in the community. And, we're going to keep it funky with y'all. We just going to, keep it funky with y'all.
But we promise we will not spoil anything that we have been spoiled on.
That's right. Yes, I did bump into some spoilers. I am aware of them, and I have not let it affect my content. I just seen the pictures and what people have been talking about. It's kind of unavoidable if you are actually like in the circles. So, it is what it is. Nobody wants to be, well, some people like to be spoiled. Some people don't care about being spoiled. But me personally, yeah, I took it kind of hard. So, it's all good. We hear you good, Daryl. You good up in here. We're not going to spoil nothing.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about a lot going on.
And by the way, just spoiler alert here in terms of what my opinion is that I'm going to talk about later. So no real actual spoiler. I think that it's all fake. I think that they filmed an alternate ending, and I think it's all rubbish anyway. So
yes,
I
indeed. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that, and I'm hoping for that as well. Yes. Scarlet Fever is in the building. What's up, Firmly? How you doing, familiar? Peace and wellness to you. All City Big Heck. Peace, peace, peace. Good to see you. Carrie, our love. Yo, my heart goes out to you, Carrie. My condolences to you and your family. Much love to Carrie. And I'm just, happy to see you here as always. But yes, I did, I caught that message that you sent us. And yo, my heart goes out. It definitely rocked my world that day, We have Shara Stories in the building. She says, "Hi everyone, how you doing? Good to see you." Purple Alizé is here with us. We have David Riley with us today. We have Golden Child. Spoiler-free zone in full effect. Yes, we're not going to spoil nothing. We're going to talk about the fact that it dropped, though. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk about a lot, though. We're going to get to it. Yes, indeed. Laser Beam. What's going on, Laser Beam Sports? Daryl Seymour, you good? I'm taking a risk coming here. Yeah, I'm taking a risk. It's a risk hopping on the internet today, man. Like, it's definitely a risk just hopping on the internet. I mean, where are you going to go? You can't go to X or Twitter. You can't go to, Reddit. And damn, you can't even go to Facebook. You can't even go look at your grandmom's Facebook page nowadays. Like, what the fuck? Like,
but, that's one of the reasons why I think it's all fake, to be honest.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Demo is in the building. What's good, fam? How you? Good to see you. We got
Demo. Yeah. Demo, you're always welcome to jump on if you ever wish to.
Yes, indeed. We got Skipler. Still not spoiled. Yo, Skipler, good avoiding that. I haven't Carrie said I haven't seen any spoilers. Haven't been online, so thank you to No Spoilers. Yes. Nene is in the building. Good to see you. She said, "Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Real, it's good to have you today too, bro." Yes, indeed. Yo, I have been missing in action a little something. And it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Like I seen a spoiler, and I had a video or a nice part of my video that went into a whole description of something and a prediction. And I mean, I don't even want to drop that shit now because but see, I have something to fall back on. I fall back on the esoteric, just showing you the symbolism and the hidden meaning behind the show. So I'll fall back and do that for a remainder of the season. But we're gonna get into it. What's going on? What's going on, Nene? Good to have you. We got David Riley in the building. Bitey is in the building. Good to see both of you. Who else we got? Okay, okay. Seeing some of the same names. What up? What up? What up? Okay, Nora Angel. Okay, good to see you. All right, so I noticed a lot of shit in episode 7. It really has me hyped for episode 8. You know what I'm saying? Episode 6 and 7 kind of go together. Like, I wish that would have been like a 2-hour episode, just one episode. Like, those two episodes kind of really go together. Like, when you see the revelation of the cliffhanger with Tabitha realizing that she's been in this place or had a dream of this place. And then we go right to the episode. The very next episode is her, Jade, and Ethan going to this place to look at it. Ethan's standing there bearing witness to everything. Jim is there already because he ran to go get food with a couple of the people. So this episode was pretty dope when you look at it from the perspective of putting 6 and 7 together. What do you think about that, Taran?
Can you say again that last part?
So, like, how I was talking about how like 6 and 7 just go together so well. Like, episode 6 and 7 just seemed like one cohesive episode to me. It was kind of,
yeah.
yeah.
It's look, every episode of this season has been fantastic. It's highly enjoyable. Everyone. It's interesting how we're seeing new interesting things without getting any answers necessarily. Just sort of substantially more in your face clues. And I have, because of this spoiler thing, I have been I know that the actors would have to be in on it if this was some big crank, some big hoax where they had like 2 fake episodes, I think, that had been shared with all the many reviewers, which is why it's leaked. I think they even leaked it themselves, actually. But that's kind of tinfoil, but there you go.
No, I kind of believe that as well. I think they did do that purposely. I think they probably waited on some of the reviewers to leak it, and since it didn't happen, they went ahead and finagled it themselves.
Potentially, yeah. But in any case, I've been watching a lot of these actors' interviews, and what did they say about the ending? They said that the ending allows you to. I think it was Samantha Brown, who plays Acosta, who said something like, "It allows you to trim the fat off your theory, or the theories." Which is basically, she said, like, the picture really focuses in a lot. So it's going to confirm a lot of stuff. It's going to ground. I think it's going to ground the answers to everyone's questions in. I think it's going to like discount science fiction probably in some way, or it's going to show that there's a historical component to this. I think we're going to meet a historical figure in the next couple of episodes for sure.
So you're saying that
final scenes.
So you're saying like one of the actual categories will perish after the season's over.
I think surely a couple must. If they say that we get substantial answers this season, I'm not saying that they will fall away completely. I'm not saying, for example, that the alien theory doesn't work. It's just you'll have to work harder to make it fit, is all I'm saying. Like it'll just sort of focus it in a bit more, and there'll be some on the periphery that it could sort of side focus in on, maybe. But I think ultimately, if I had to guess what the major thing that they reveal is, that's going to sort of narrow everything down, I think it might be time travel. I think it's going to be people, maybe the entire cast, time traveling to different periods in history of Fromland with real historical figures. And I think we may even learn the name of the kimono wraith, who I think is OK Ito, because I think if they were going to show a historical figure first, it would be the one who has the most annoying clue that they'd like to stop having to do anymore. And that clue is the word okay, which real you have noticed now, after I've pointed it out, that the word okay is used an insane amount on the show. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
it's used to the point of where I feel like if I was an actor, it would be kind of hard to read those lines, having to repeat a word like that over and over again. It would just kind of make you sound, I don't know, a little unintelligent, I guess. Am
Yeah,
I?
and I think the actors must get quite frustrated with Jack Bender, Jeff Pinkner, and John Griffin that they're not allowed to ad lib more. You know, they're like, I bet there's times where they're like, no, you need to say okay 4 times here, Julie or Hannah, and I bet Hannah's like, why on earth am I saying okay 4 times here? It's way too much. Can I not just say it once? Doesn't it get the same message across? And they're like, no, we need 4 okays here. And I bet it confuses the hell out of them because maybe everyone's in agreement. I think practically every actor has had some conversation with the directors where they want to change the dialogue because it feels clunky to them and they're struggling to pull it off, and it's being insisted upon. And I think that they know that there are clues hidden in the dialogue for that reason. And I think the word okay was the one that they know the most. So wouldn't it? I bet they would love to have to be able to stop using that word. Wouldn't they love it if in season 4 they can stop with the okays? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
great?
Just
So I
go
think,
ahead and get that clue out the way real quick.
yeah. So if I had to predict 2 timelines, it would be the 2 that I've identified that the word okay connects to. Okay, and that is Okay Ito. She is a Japanese woman from the 1860s. She's the first Japanese person to live and die on American soil. She is also um, known as the mother of Japan. And I'm starting to think that potentially she was the Fatima, that this Okay Ito girl was the Fatima of the 1860s timeline. And I think in every timeline, there's a girl who gets pregnant and gives birth, and something happens with that child. Um, and then the other one is the OK Corral, which is a shootout that happened in Tombstone near the Birdcage Theater. And I think that everyone who lived in Tombstone at that time, all the famous characters like Doc Holliday, um, Wyatt Earp, Morgan Earp, and also like a whole bunch of like outlaws like Cullen Baker. I think the Birdcage Theater itself. I mean, have you guys noticed all the bird cages in the background? Real, I'm sure you have.
Yes, I have, and even in Henry's basement. I want to say shout out to Del Senior. She is here. I did notice you came into the building. Good to see you here. A couple more people are here. You know, we have Icaro here. Icaro Guillamares. I hope I didn't mess that up too bad, but Icaro, we have Icaro here from Brazil. Good to see you. Shout out to Brazil. Allo Brazil. What's up? Taran. Shit, you gotta shout out Brazil, bro. What you doing?
Sorry, I was just drinking some water. Yes. Oi, tudo bom? Espero que você está gostando do nosso show.
Hey.
Yeah, a little bit of Portuguese.
Oh, he went crazy with the Portuguese real quick. We got Amy in the
I'm
building.
rusty at
Good
the
to
moment,
see
actually.
you.
I'm about to go to Kenya on safari, and I'm going to be with my mom. I'm going to practice my Portuguese the whole time. That was so embarrassing how rusty that was.
Oh,
Desculpa,
okay.
cara, o meu sotaque é horrível. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Oh, yo, Portuguese is a fly language. It's fly to me. You know what I mean? Like kind of sexy language. Pause. But yeah, we got Gothic Chick in the building. Good to see you.
I'm seeing so many regulars these days. It's quite nice to
Yeah.
have this community.
Yes, indeed. Luna Cascade drops the super chat. Feeling a little blue today, but I wanted to send some love to my familia. Don't feel blue. Don't feel blue. We got you. We got you. We're here to have some good conversation. And I know that you'll be able to bring some good dialogue in the chat as well, Luna. You always have some good back and forth. We appreciate you being here and your generation and your generosity. Thank you for the super chat, sis. Yes, but don't be blue. Everything is gonna be all right. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you feel better. Yeah, Purple Alizé says, I hope you feel better as well. Okay, who's else? Who else is in here? Okay, we got Stephanie in the building. Woohoo! Let's go live. Yeah. All right, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, I agree. I think that it
Time travel.
may. I think that there. I'm definitely on the time travel part. I said that last year when Boyd ended up in the ruins of a dungeon that he was in when it was whole. I said that's got to be time travel at the very minimum. All right, so when you say they would eliminate science fiction, I'd have to disagree there because time travel is science fiction.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was hypothetical, like something like that, right? Like maybe it just confirms magic, for example. It doesn't discount science fiction, but maybe, or maybe it doesn't even confirm magic, but it really suggests that it's magic. Something like that,
Okay, okay.
or a mythical being. Like, as you know, I think that a polar bear and Bigfoot may show up in the finale. Maybe a giant spider, maybe a creepy boogeyman with like a bag of sand, that sort
Mm-hmm.
of thing. But I think if they were going to try and shock everyone, so I've thought long and hard about this. If they were going to try and shock everyone with the reveal of new monsters, and oh my god, Elizabeth Saunders, she's teased that there's new monsters in this season, and everyone thinks. Well, anyway, the point is, I think these new monsters must be one of the 7 beings that I've identified. So I looked at these 7 beings, and I was like, okay, we have a dragon. Well, okay, we've brought dragons up a lot. That's not going to shock anyone. Giant squid. We've seen the red Cthulhu monster. It's an answer if we show the squid, but it's weird. Maybe we'll see a squid. That would be cool as well. Then there's Bonhomme Setters, this Canadian boogeyman. That's who I think the big bad is imitating at the moment. We might see him, but I think he's currently enjoying shapeshifting into Cattree and Barkeeper Tom. So I'm not sure if we'll see him just yet. And I think he's going to possess Marielle. So we're going to need to have Marielle speaking for him for a while before we see him in reality. So I don't think it's going to be him. Giant spider, could be. But again, it's not a big reveal. It's not going to freak everyone out. So then I'm left with Bigfoot, Loop Garou, and the Hag. Now, the Hag, I think, is Tilly. Perhaps because the Hag is the only one of these that actually looks like a normal human, Tilly's actually able to walk among them, and she is, in fact, the spy. What I found really interesting was that the Page of Swords was one of the tarot cards that was revealed in a behind-the-scenes picture that Pega Gaffori released, which means mole, basically. So that was kind of interesting. So I thought maybe that means Tilly is the mole. Obviously, at the end of this latest episode, she dies, but I think she will come back. And maybe she even made Fatima kill her on purpose to get her away from Colony House and easier to deal with. So we'll see about that. And then, so what am I left with? I'm left with Loop Garou and Bigfoot. So Bigfoot is obviously going to freak everyone out. So I think Bigfoot's going to show up. And then Loop Garou is this like Canadian sort of werewolf type being, but it can also turn into a bear, a dog, or I think an owl sometimes, but I'm not sure. So we've already seen it in its dog form. That's the dog that keeps running around everywhere. It's keeping an eye on the boy in white. But he can. If we're seeing these bear traps everywhere, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. We got a bear trap. That's a clue to something. Is there a bear trapper in the historical timeline? I haven't identified one, so I'm thinking, okay, there's a bear trap there. That's a clue. And then I'm like, well, we know that they're trying to make Lost connections on this show, and there's a lot of people who theorize that this is like a spin-off of Lost. This is like part of the Lost universe. Maybe this is like the dark zone underneath the island that the island is keeping captive, and that they're all in it, for example. Some people think that. There's so many Lost connections on the show. So then I think Lost has that polar bear thing, and it was never explained very well. And I have this theory that From is going to end kind of like Lost, but with like a much better explanation, in that everyone will understand it. It'll be pretty clear what's going on, but it will like echo the ending of Lost, in that everyone will be in a church and then everyone like returns to the real world at the end, in my opinion. So anyway,
Okay.
the point is, if he's going to transform into a bear, I think they would pick a polar bear. That would also freak everyone out. What on earth is a polar bear doing in Fromland? Polar bears aren't even really part of the United States generally. They're more of a Canadian animal. So I think if we're going to see 2 new beings that haven't been hinted at, it would be Bigfoot and a polar bear. And Donna says a polar bear. No, sorry. Donna says that her sister would knock the teeth off a bear. Now, teeth and bear are both separate keywords, but I was thinking maybe that's foreshadowing of a fight between something and a bear. And I thought maybe it would be someone getting like knocking a bear's teeth out when it's like attacking them. But what if it's Bigfoot punching a bear? So I'm picturing at the end someone gets chased by a polar bear, and then Bigfoot comes out of nowhere and like protects them. And that's how it ends. And everyone's like, what the hell did I just watch? That's what I think is coming. Let's see if it works out. I think it's a very specific theory. And if I get it right, either people are going to need to take a closer look at my theory, or they're going to think that I've somehow, I don't know, something. But ultimately, that's where I'm coming from with Bigfoot versus the polar bear. Okay. So sorry, I know I just talked for a really long time there, but I'm passionate about this theory because it's taken a lot of like thinking deeply to get to thinking this is what we might see. And it may not even happen season 3, to be fair. But it's the sort of thing that if I get it right, I think people would think it's crazy that I've got it right. So it'll be interesting to see.
Okay, I wanted to point out some of the. Now you know that I've been bringing the connections to the Wizard of Oz. I've been showing connections to Shakespeare plays as well, and I just wanted to point out a couple of those references that happened real quick. First, I want to say this dude right here, oh boy, look like his ass. All them slow walkers, they made him move all that shit through the tunnels by himself. Bro just said fuck it and laid down and went to sleep after he got done. He laid out here with his mouth wide ass open. He just got off work, his knees up, he chilling in his favorite easy chair.
He's been busy, raking his claws through guts. That is a lot of hard work. He's had a hard day and he needs a little
He's had a hard day at work. You know what I'm saying? Like they made him move all that teacup shit down there himself. They made him move the clock itself, and his ass had to sit down and get him some rest. But I want to talk. I want to talk about the medicine that was on. Gave me another possible Wizard of Oz clue. If you check out the name on the medicine, it said M. Thompson. And M. Thompson is a reference to, I think it could be a reference to Marshall Thompson, who was an American actor back in the day. And he was in a movie in 1945. Actually, his first movie was with Judy Garland, and it was called The Clock. And he played in that. So there's a connection to Judy Garland there, the M. Thompson. It's really not a huge like catch or significant.
No, it's a great catch. It's a great catch. I mean, I hadn't had a chance to go through the episode when you texted me saying that you'd made this connection. And all I will say is I totally agree with you. This is one of the people passing objects across time. This is one of the people who passed it to Judy Garland, who passed it to someone else, who passed it to someone else. In fact, I wonder where Judy Garland is in here.
Well, let me see something real quick. Let me see if I could. I'm gonna just go ahead and pull up who this guy was. This guy right here, Marshall Thompson. Marshall Thompson, as you see, he was born James Marshall Thompson. And James is isn't Jim short for James or something like that? Or a lot of men named James, you could also call him Jim or whatever. Jim and James are interchangeable. That's from my understanding. Okay, so here it is, the 1945 film, The Clock. He was in it with Judy Garland. And Judy Garland is Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And I just thought that was a cool possible reference or connection to The Wizard of Oz. Also, I also found another Shakespeare clue. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys
before we get off Judy Garland, may I say something quickly?
sure.
So I have theorized that part of John Griffin's pitch to MGM was that MGM's history would be part of the clues on the show and part of the mythology of From. And I believe that key people in the history of MGM and all the franchises that they are best known for, including The Wizard of Oz and stuff like James Bond and that sort of thing, all of those things are going to be referenced in From repeatedly. And I believe that do you know why I think the show is called From now? Other
Why?
than it being a reference to history and things like that? Because it's one of the most genius branding and like under the radar branding ideas I've ever heard of in my life. So anyone who bought the show From, anyone Googling it would need to search From plus the company that makes it. So if it was Netflix, it would be From Netflix. If you were searching it on Epix when it was on Epix, you would search From Epix, right? Now
Right.
that it's on MGM, you search From MGM. So you are literally training yourself to search From MGM and connect this extremely popular show to the brand itself. So it supports the brand, it encourages people to be searching around the brand, connecting the brand to the show, and becoming more loyal to the brand there as well. So I actually think it's a genius piece of marketing. Not only does it make it quite hard to Google the show if you're theorizing, which I guess is like an added bonus, although I think they probably ended up deciding it probably wasn't really a bonus, but they're going to pretend it is because the other part is such a genius idea. Because I do think it is frustrating for fans, and it's probably not the best way. Like I have to really work hard to find actor interviews, for example, because they show up on these tiny channels that have no idea how to tag their videos. I bet there's so many videos that they've done with like 3 views, because even when you looked for it, you couldn't find it. Searching their name, searching from MGM, you still can't find it. But sometimes the algorithm will throw it up, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get one in the algorithm. Like a lot of time, YouTube has been real heavy on promoting smaller channels lately. And so I'll get like a smaller channel that's done like an interview with Boyd or Victor or somebody, like a dope interview as well. And it's just it's it just adds to the mystery, kind of like, as far as what you're saying about the name. Like the name was ingenious as far as that. I always looked at the name like it was just a nightmare to try to find anything on this show or anything about this show other than the show itself. That's all you can pretty much find. And then when you this is the thing, they've condensed it to now that when you do Google search the show, you're going to find theories.
Uh-huh.
That's
But
how it's
when
been
you search the
condensed into
show,
that.
what do you search when you search the show?
From MGM.
Right. Right? I mean, it's kind of the name of the show now, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
When you
most
want to,
definitely.
like, even the main Reddit, unfortunately, is called From Epics. Even though Epics doesn't exist anymore, and they can't change the name, unfortunately. But it's the most popular channel. Probably a bit frustrating for the from the people who created that Reddit page. Sometimes I wonder if the people who created the From Reddit page are like involved with the show in some way, because it would become so associated with the brand. But imagine they were like, we're going to launch this new brand called Epics. Wouldn't it be great if we launched this show called From Epics? Basically, because that's what
Yeah.
everyone's searching. That is amazing. They'll be like, wow, that was a show from Epics. Just like
Well,
we're watching right now
I
is a show
think that
from
I think
MGM.
that the name of the show even goes a little deeper than that. Like as far as lost connections, lost is a 4-letter word where the vowel is a O, and so is from. From is a
Yeah,
4-letter word where the vowel is a O. So
yeah.
I think it even goes deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen Chris LaBelle in the chat, and she said how where is she at? Where did the comment go? Oh yeah, other markets they call it origins. Um,
Yeah.
and you know, in other markets it's just a total different name that gives it a more context. Actually, I think Origins gives it
Yeah.
more context.
Well, that's the like conventional explanation for why it's called From, because it's about like the origins, and I actually think that it's part of that as well. From and it was interesting what John Griffin said on the IMDb vote. He said something along the lines of what was it? From means many things to many different people, right? And
Mhm.
everyone's thinking, and what he's saying is actually the truth. He wasn't being facetious. It's called From for many reasons. It's called From because it's about the origins of our mythologies and our stories and our archetypes and our literature and our music and our theater and our film. That's one reason. But then it's also called From because it's hard to Google, and it's hard to um, yeah, it's hard to Google, so it makes it harder to get to find theories about it and find like hidden information about it, right? Like it's hard to find obscure articles or people leaking and stuff, maybe. I don't know, because of From. That's another reason. But then it's also because of this branding thing where it's literally From MGM is the name of the show. And I don't know why I only realized this recently. It must be so obvious to so many other people. I bet so many people on the show are like, wow, I wonder how no one's picked up on this yet. So yeah, did I get that right? I don't know. It's probably multiple reasons, and the most conventional one is because it's about the origins of things. But I think the real reason is this genius marketing thing, and they won't admit that until the very ending.
I want to point out something else in that I noticed in this episode that I thought was pretty cool. Let me see, where is it? You know that door that Elgin went through in the lighthouse. Now there was something. Hold on, let me pull this episode up in this program real quick so that I can go over a couple of the scenes. Give me a second here. What I noticed. Do you remember that? Where are you? Where are you? Hold on. I'm gonna find this and put this up there because this I thought was super dope. We don't know what it means. We don't know what it's going to mean. I know I don't. But this door right here, can you see that door?
Yeah, it's I believe this is all a clue to Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But yeah, it's a red door, kind of interesting. What's your point? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, let me see here. Now look at the shape of the door. Just pay attention to the shape of the door.
That's a
And it
good.
looks like the door that was to that portal by the faraway tree on the beach.
Why is it cool? Why is it a red door?
And I know there's some people out there that's like, faraway tree on the beach. What the is this guy talking about? Like, yeah, there's a picture. Hold on, I'm looking for it. I know I'm getting close to it. I know you guys see me shuffling through this shit. All right, here we go. Okay, so in one of these pictures right here, there was a picture of a faraway tree on the beach right here with the big rock, the big boulder, and there was
And a portal
also
in the air, a
a
doorway in the
door,
air.
a doorway, and it's the same shape.
Oh.
That door is the same shape as the
Oh.
door that I was just talking about. And I was like, oh, okay, there's some things going on here that, you know, just jump out to me with somewhat of a photographic memory.
I have a
And
theory, but I can't discuss it because it involves the promo photos from episode 8, and I don't know. We've discussed them in the past, or I've never been careful of them in the past, but I'm going to be extra careful of it now. So I have a theory as to what those doorways represent. What door is opened that opens up into a different location and not just a different timeline potentially. So
okay.
that
Now there was also another part about this part right here. Now let me get rid of this photo. We talked about the door. We talked about the picture. All right. There's a lot going on with this root cellar that's vastly different from what we saw before. Okay. Um, I'm gonna talk about it real quick. Maybe it's just an error. Maybe they made a mistake. I don't know. Give me a second here. I'm loading up the episode so I can show you what I'm talking about. I know you guys are like, man, this dude, he's moving too quick. Brother Real, you just need to stop playing and just cut the video and put it out. But the reason why I'm not putting it out is because there's some things that have to do with the spoilers. And I wrote this shit before the spoilers even came out. Y'all know I've been behind. And I wrote this shit. Like, I've been talking about the eggs and all of that kind of shit last year and everything. I've been talking about the Vesica Pisces, the indigenous natives of America, Turtle Island. I've been talking about the Civil War aspects, Jim Crow. I've been talking about all of that stuff. So I feel like I'm kind of like safe. Y'all guys won't think that I made my theories based on the spoilers or whatever that came out. However, there are other content creators out there, and there's a lot of them actually, that saw the shit and they're acting like they're having these great epiphanies after they've seen the spoilers and shit, which is corny as fuck to me. That's just my opinion. I think that shit's corny. Like, and it sucks the fun out of it for people that's really out here theory crafting. But getting back to what I was saying, I was talking about this scene right here where our boy goes into the root cellar and he gets a knock on that wardrobe. Now, this is the same wardrobe where Jade opens this wardrobe and the guy's sitting inside of it with the boulder on him and he starts screaming. Now, just keep that shit in mind. And you guys tell me if this is, and Taran, to what you said as well about the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. I think this might be just an error that they made. You know, so hold on. I'm looking for it, guys. Just give me a second.
By the way, may I mention that I've mentioned the Stephen King connections on the show a great deal before, and after a little bit of Googling just now, I have realized that red doors are connected to Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, where red doors are like gateways between different worlds and dimensions. Like they're basically like thresholds that people can walk through to get to a different zone. So I think this is another clue to Stephen King, who, as I've predicted before, will show up on the show, make a cameo, and potentially give someone in the real world. I used to think it was Tabitha. Now I have no idea who it could be. But it felt like it should be Tabitha. I don't know. Maybe Jade, because he's like trying to solve this, right? So maybe Jade's the solver. Maybe Jade's the hero. He has the resources. I think we discussed this, didn't we, Real? That if it was going to be someone in the real world trying to solve this puzzle, it would make sense if it would be Jade, because he can't do much more in Fromland, and he's got the resources to fly everywhere. You know, he's famous and rich enough that like his disappearance wouldn't be questioned. You know, he's close enough with. Yeah, you know, he could be the one trying to figure this out. I think that could be really interesting. And here's the other thing: I do know that some female young woman must also time travel because, okay, so remember how Jade mentioned some girl gave him a soda at the airport?
Yeah.
And told him they come with you when you go?
Yeah.
I think that's probably Christy.
Oh, shit. That would be crazy.
Let me explain why. Jade tells Mrs. Liu this phrase. And then when Mrs. Liu dies at the funeral, he says to Christy, they come with you when you go, or something along those lines, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be interesting if Christy then time travels and is the woman who says the same comforting phrase to Jade, creating a paradox of sorts? Who said it first?
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
So I think that's what that is. I think Christy goes to the airport to pick up Jade or something like that. Someone does. The young woman who picks him up, I think, is someone we know. That's all I'm saying. Could be Julie as well. But it's only because Christy heard it that I wonder
Okay.
whether.
So here it is, guys. Let me show y'all this real quick. Let me show y'all this. Y'all let me know if this is a mistake or not. I don't know. Let me know if it is. Let me know if it's not. Now, we're gonna watch Elgin go through the door here. Okay, so notice there's a little buttonhole in the door. You got the little hole right here in the door. And we see the hole right here when he opens the door. Okay.
Yeah.
You see the hole when he opens the door.
Toph says something moved
Now,
behind the door.
now look, now watch this. Let's go forward again. Let's keep going forward. I'm just, going frame by frame here. He opens the wardrobe, nothing in there. He doesn't see what Jay sees. And I'm not gonna move it because I don't want y'all to be like, man, that didn't happen. So I'm gonna let it just keep going. So boom, he leaves out. He gets the knock on the door. What the hell is that? Turns back around. I hear somebody in there knocking in there. I thought he was gonna open the wardrobe and see somebody in that shit. That didn't happen. So what did he do? Does it show him go? Yeah, it does. He goes, he moves the wardrobe out of the way. Let's just watch this. Here we're going frame by frame here, rapid speed. All right, so now we're at the door. Boom. We see the grommets on the door. The door has no hole or anything in it. But watch this. When he opens the door, there's the hole again. What the fuck? Did they just add or use the shot from him opening the door before? Because that's the same shot. Now they show us the door open.
That's they messed up that shot because look at what the inside of the door looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly what my point is. Okay, so look, here's the inside of the door.
It's an editing error. It's an editing error.
Okay, so you think it's an editing error? Okay, cool.
I do think it is.
All right, because when he opens the door, so they just didn't have. I guess they didn't have an inside perspective shot from when he opened the door, so they just had to use the first one.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess they had to use the shot twice, but it's the exact same shot. And why not just skip the shot? Look at the shit though. Why not just skip the shot altogether?
Look, I mean, look, you've caught it. You've absolutely caught it. I think that it's entirely possible that this could be a clue to something. I just have literally no idea what it could be.
That's why I was asking you, because you were talking about doors going to other places. So
yeah, it is interesting, but I think they just
used the same shot as him opening the door. It's the exact same shot, same face. He raises the flashlight, and boom, like it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that maybe I'm reading too much into it, that maybe I just caught a mistake. I think I just caught a mistake, and they are like, "Oh, okay."
But it's a good. It shows how closely you're watching the show, real. It shows how closely you're watching the show. I certainly didn't catch that, but this season, because I'm so busy at the moment, I'm dipping into like the From Discord here and there, because I'm like working on a document while occasionally dipping into chat with people. It's a little. I'm probably doing it a little more than I should, but I'm a bit too busy to do like proper deep thinking and theorizing about the show at the moment, and like going back and rewatching, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that at the end when it's all shaken out. So unfortunately, this season, I will be thinking about it a bit here and there, but I'm just so crazy busy right now. It's crazy. I was at a school today talking to kids about books and things.
How'd that go, by the way?
Yeah, it was good, man. Sold about 40 books or something.
Oh, nice.
Which is not bad for a school visit like that. But yeah, the train journey was a nightmare. Oh, I regret saying yes to it, to be honest. But anyway, it's fine. And it was really nice to meet all the kids. And inspire some young minds. So I do that about, I don't know, 15 times a year, maybe 10. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you all right, so now what are your thoughts on that door looking suspiciously like the door we see here? Are there more doors that go into different places? Are there more hidden doors or esoteric doors? Because
Well,
behind the line, the witch in the wardrobe is a wonderful rabbit hole that we could fall into with the show like From. Definitely.
I am starting to think that maybe the faraway trees don't time travel you. I'm starting to think that it's that winch, just like in Lost, how that wheel is how you move the island in time. I think that winch that is by the well might actually be how time travel works on this show. And if you look at those faraway trees with the wheel in the middle, it's kind of like
It kind
that.
of suggests sort of the same thing, like the
Yeah.
wheel turning has some sort of significance with the traveling mechanism, whether it be time travel or whether it be the faraway trees teleporting you somewhere, which is traveling.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I totally get that. I love that idea, and I love the idea with the doors. I think that makes me think of this picture right here. It looks like a hand, but to me, this looks like a dirt cul-de-sac with 5 faraway trees on the beach. And this looks like the water to me. This looks like the beach. And these might be those big stones like in this picture over here. Now, I definitely think we're talking some like From season 4, season 5 shit right now. I think so. I really do think that we're talking some season 4, season 5, bringing you some new shit. That's what I think. I think the pictures, the
Is that a
timeline,
red sunset? What's that on the
yeah,
right there? What is that?
that looks like a fire in the sky.
Are those cars? Yeah, that might be the car graveyard.
Yeah, that's the car graveyard with a red sky. There's the big hand right there, which could be a figurative thing or it could be real. Like, what the fuck? Like, that would be scary as shit if you saw a hand that big. I'd be thinking like Attack on Titan and I'm getting the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Bull's face right here. Look at the dad. Like, yeah, I'm like the dad's face. I'm grabbing my wife and my kid and we running from the big hand in the sky for sure. This is Colony House with the storm, it appears, or some big black mass above it. But yeah, that door that Elgin went behind and everything. I wonder where are they taking us with that? Like, what is going on? Like, and the kimono lady is giving me mixed signals. I don't know what the hell's going on with the kimono lady. Because the thing about it is she was like, yo, I can help you get out of here and everything. But it's the way she grabbed Elgin and it's the way she's rocking with him and really not telling him anything. You know, I think that is where we should be looking. Oh, wow, look here. Doesn't this look like the picture from that was inside of the television when Elgin saw the kimono lady up at Colony House? This looks like very
Good.
similar to that character.
I don't know. It could be. I
It's
can't say
very similar.
because my memory is not as good.
Very similar.
Yeah, there's a very interesting picture. What remind me what no, never mind. All right, please. What is that? I'm just sorry. I'm looking at no, ignore me. I'm too crazy.
No.
I'm struggling with these spoilers. I'm really struggling at the moment. Like I am swinging back and forth between fake and real and wrong and right and all sorts. It's got me
I
completely.
think okay, so let's talk
I'm
about it.
thrown.
We're not going to say what the spoilers are because
No,
there are
we will
people
never
here
say
that
what
do
the
not
spoilers
want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
And I am in that same boat. I didn't want to be spoiled either, but I ran across them and I was like, fuck. What I saw looked like something I wrote and I was pissed. So That's what kind of pissed me off and threw me off with the video. I don't know how to reword any of this shit. Like I just chopped a bunch of it out and I'm just working on rebuilding something else. I got hella clues that I find in these episodes, but man, when you have your heart set on something and you want to go crazy real quick, and then something like spoilers come out, it just kind of fucked everything up for me. That pardon my French, but that's what happened, y'all.
Let me give you guys some copium, okay? I'm gonna throw some
Okay,
copium
I'm
over
with
the
it. I'm with it. Throw it in there. We
I'm gonna
need
throw some copium out here for you. All right. There is a channel, wonderful channel, by this, older gentleman. He did two, fantastic interviews. Probably one of my favorite interviews, actually. One with Samantha Brown. He had just created his channel 2 weeks ago. Okay, 2 weeks ago, and he has a total of 68 subscribers. And his latest video that was uploaded 2 days ago has 4 views. That guy has the entire season. Now, what does
Okay,
that
so
tell you? What does that tell you?
it tells me that they a little loose with who they giving the juice to.
Yes, and especially when loads of people are complaining about all the leaks, and this guy's just created a new channel and he gets all 10. In my opinion, this is a very, very clever marketing stunt. So let me explain. Imagine that they film the last 2 episodes, okay? Maybe even a little bit of episode 8. I'm not so sure at the moment. I'm starting to doubt myself. But some of the promo photos, we talked about this a little bit, real. Some of the promo photos had some inconsistencies in them, like continuity errors that made us think that maybe that would be where the alternate timeline starts. But ultimately, what I think they've
The
done.
problem is we haven't seen the episode to know. I guess we'll find out this Saturday or Sunday night or whatever.
Yeah, I think we would have to see what happens on episode 8. I don't think they would let this go on for weeks. So I think by episode 8, people will notice that the version that has been seen by most of the streamers, these little streamers, that they've all seen this version is going to be different to the one that actually plays out on screen. So what does
Yo,
this
that
allow
would
them
be
to do?
so funny. That would be so funny. All these motherfuckers out here that saw the spoilers and they running
Mhm.
around acting like they had these big bad epiphanies of, oh, I think this is gonna happen. But
Yep.
they don't
Oh
tell
yeah.
you why they think that shit. They can't lay down the blueprint on where they came up with this. They just woke up one morning at 3 in the morning with this epiphany, like, hey. And if that shit is, if they sent different screeners out than what they're actually going to present on MGM and Amazon, that will be fucking hilarious. I'm gonna I'm gonna roll around on the fucking floor if that happens. If that happens, we are doing an express live stream. As a matter of fact, if in episode 8, one of these spoiler people or streamers or early screening people say that that's not the episode that they got, bro, I'm taking my shirt off. We running through the neighborhood.
I mean, I said it first. I think that it's all a big prank. Not between you and I. I just mean in general on Reddit, on Discord. I'm the one who's leading the charge on the "this is all fake." Now let me
Yeah,
say
I've been
something
telling
else.
you, just leave me out of that shit. I do not want no parts of that shit because I'm gonna end up cursing one of them motherfucking the spoiler people to fuck out.
Well, I've now read all the spoilers basically. So I'm
You got my back on that, so
yeah, I
good.
admit that. I've read it all now. I had to investigate. Had to see what was going on. I think it's all fake. My point is this. Now, what are they achieving by doing this? Okay, so listen to this. Not only is from already a hugely risky, hugely complicated show that's meta in so many ways. It not only is it made by the same people who were involved in Lost, and isn't it interesting that Lost filmed 4 separate endings of season 3 and sent them out to streamers, just like From is about to do? Okay. Now, also, wouldn't it make a huge splash on the internet if 2 entire episodes tricked everyone? And it would just be, it would, I think it would go viral. I think it would be a sensation. And then here's the other thing. it also allows them to let all the tiny streamers, all the little streamers everywhere to be in on the joke. It lets them all to be part of this prank, and it lets them feel special. And it allows them to be involved in a sort of meta and cult classic way that I think is really cool. And then what else do? They also save the season from being spoiled. So even if the real version leaked, there's this fake version everywhere to muddy the waters. And also, if a future season gets spoiled, people are going to say, well, that's just another prank, or that's another alternate ending that they did. These guys do alternate endings, so you don't know which one's real, which one's fake. So it not only protects.
I hope they do that shit and then don't give no screeners out for next season 4. And
I think they will.
I think if you give the screeners out, you should maybe do it maybe a couple of days before the episode drops or something.
Yeah, I
Because
think
I
it should
do
be a week
understand as a content creator, it would be dope
Mm.
for you to get your episode early. Go ahead, do your little review, your breakdown. That way, when you already got it done, you're not scrambling to fucking do it when everybody else is getting the episode. I could see that for the people that want to do that. Me personally, I wouldn't want to do that. I might do that for some other shows that you guys want me to cover that I might not have a lot of time to cover. I might sign up to get the episodes early so I can show you all of the esoteric shit that I seen in there, put the video up, schedule it to release maybe 10 hours after the episode drops. Boom, there you go. But for a show like From, which is actually a mystery that's wrapped around a horror show, I would never do no shit like that. And I wouldn't want to sign up to get the shit early. Now, if I haphazardly happen to see these spoilers, which is what happened to me, like I scrolled down and I seen some shit and I could not unsee it, and I said, "Fuck it, I done seen this. Maybe
that's what happened to everyone.
Yo,
Literally everyone.
it really spoiled it for me. It really bummed me out. I only called my close circle. But yo, I want to shout out some people that just came through. The man in black is in the building. Mia Moore is in the building. The wonderful chocolate beauty is in the building. And I see down here, I got to scroll down. Joe Knows is in the building. Carly is in the building. Yes. Who else we got here? We got some more people that came through. I saw you earlier, Lady Stonehearted. I highlighted your comment. I started to comment on that, but we were in the thick of something. And Chocolate Beauty has gifted 5 Real Enigmas and Theories memberships. You are now magnified. Celebrate with those emojis. And if you got one of those memberships, thank our beautiful cousin. And we want to thank her again for her generosity. Thank you very much, Chocolate Beauty. And it's good to see you here. Yes, indeed. Who else we got? We got Tim McNeil is in the building. Good to see you. He says, I really hope next season, I hope they really do a better job with the marketing. Too many people have access to the episodes and images. Most episodes solid. They should give is 4. Okay, that's a good idea too. Just give 4 and not give the whole ending, not give the whole season, not give it a whole thing away.
First 4, and then it's 1 week early.
And 1 week early after that, because people got shit to do. You might be running a YouTube channel and you are creating some content. So I try to think about it from all angles and stuff. Like, shout out to the movie blog. We know he told the people that he got the shit early. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said that straight up. And he is not so far of what I've seen, wrapped his theories around anything that we've actually seen. Like, this man is keeping it genuine. There are other channels out there that we know that they got all the episodes and they sitting up here making motherfucking predictions and shit. Like, straight up whole theories that are based on the whole entire episode that we know they watch. That shit is lame as hell to me. And it kind of fucks up the game. Like, I don't know.
That's why it's not real. This is the season where they teach us that spoilers are bad. Don't spoil the show. Look how bad it was last time.
Ooh.
And it's also going to teach people not to use spoilers to make their theories, because sometimes they will get very badly embarrassed.
Yo, and shout out to anybody because there are people out there that'll steal a theory from somebody else. There are people there are theories that I have gotten wrong, that people have stolen my theory. And I'm laughing at them because I had fun making the theory. You stole the shit because you couldn't come up with nothing on your own. But I had fun and I enjoyed it. And my audience enjoys the way that I do what I do. And so it's funny to me when you got people, I hope so bad that they are fucking with you with these early screeners. I really do hope that they put that out there as bait, so to speak. That's what you're saying, right? They put that out there as bait so that people could bite the bait, and then And
and they could also gauge how many, like, I guess they could gauge how likely it is to leak in the future, because I don't think this leaked. I think they leaked it themselves. I think that so apparently the name of the person who leaked it is called Trundle. And Trundle is a literal troll in League of Legends. I mean, that's interesting. That is interesting. And by the way, I've been watching so many interviews with the actors, and the actors are acting so sus at the moment. Particularly,
the actors are acting real strange since the spoilers dropped.
You have got the sneakiest smile on your face. I haven't seen that sneaky smile in other interviews you've done, but lately there's some sneaky smiling, some knowing grins. They're all guilty of it. You're all guilty of it, actors, okay? I've seen it. I have spotted it. I'm calling it out in a jokey way. I love it, actually, to be honest. I love seeing it.
Okay, we getting down to the nitty gritty real quick. Mia Moore drops the dope super chat. She says, I wonder when it snowed before. Now that's getting into the nitty gritty right there. What do you think about this, being that we've seen this town in a cyclical nature? Do you think it has snowed before? Do you think Victor witnessed that and forgot about it? Or what the hell do you think's going on?
I don't know. I don't know why this gap for Victor's time. I don't know why. I don't know what sets off a cycle. I don't know. I do know that there is a cycle, and it snows every time there's a cycle. But I don't know what determines the gaps between the cycles. I assume the cycles last roughly the same amount of years. I suspect it's about 3 or 4 years, because the origin story goes from 1498 to 1503, I think. That's my thinking there. It's probably about 4 or 5 years worth of time passing. And we've already seen quite a lot of time pass since Donna's been there. And it's hard to judge who was there before her, so we don't really know when it all started. So it's soon, basically, but I don't know the exact number of years. Sorry. I'll be right back, man. I'm just gonna grab some food. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna give my take on that. Okay, so Mia Moore, that's a dope question. I don't know if it's actually snowed before. However, I do think it has. And I think Victor's bear witness to it because he's given Ethan a winter coat, essentially like a winter coat. And when Ethan looked in the winter coat, it was his sister's crayon holder. So that means that Victor must have had his sister's crayon holder and put it in that pocket at some point. Maybe when he was wearing that jacket, maybe when the town had snowed before. You know what I'm saying? Unless this town has like some real serious, like, either one or two things, a real long 4 seasons or some kind of climate change shit's going on. I don't know. Either one or the two. But I think Victor has equipped Ethan. Isn't it just on time that he was giving him that jacket? He gave him that coat just on time. And it's almost like he traded items. Like Ethan was walking around with the staff for quite some time. He got the jacket. He walked around with the staff and the jacket for a little bit. And then he purged himself of the staff. And now he's just got the jacket. I wonder if we'll see Ethan with his staff again. So yeah, that was a great question. That's getting into the nitty gritty of it right there. Okay. Yo, That's what I'm saying. Some claim they didn't get early release while the information in their video to be far fetched to be right is too far fetched to be right on target. Yeah, I mean, yo, I respect I respect the ones who actually got the shit and didn't look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just maybe have been on a list that they've been on, for other shows, and they just send it to you. You know what I mean? If you're on that list, they put a watermark on it and they send it to you. All right. So that's how they do it. Some dude said that they only got 4 episodes, which was actually a lie because they send it all out to everybody at the same time, same amount of episodes, same access. Now, some people may have some discipline and they may watch just the first 4 or something like that. But when you cranking out theories that's coming out in spoiler so-called leaks, then it is what it is. And yes, Daryl Seymour says Joe, he was answering a question from Joe Knowles. She must have asked how long has Victor been there. Now, yeah, I mean, just 40 years of being there and knowing that this place does have the capability to snow and get cold, 40 years going by just seems a little bit too long for it not to have done this shit before. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Yeah, Victor definitely gave Ethan a winter coat with
Okay.
with his with his sister's stuff inside of it. So just rounding back to my point, Victor giving Ethan a winter coat, indicates that it was cold there once before. The fact that he could have just been giving him a winter coat that was at Colony House, who knows? But we know that that's not the case because Ethan found the crayon case inside that jacket, indicating that Victor had to use it after his sister disappeared. So that's where I'm at with it. You there? You back? Taran, I heard you pop up in there for a while. What happened to you?
Well, I was just making some food.
Oh, okay, you came back. Yeah. So what do you think about my take on the possible winter?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think we're in winter. I think it's since the characters on the show are recreating an origin story, they're repeating a cycle of events in a sort of corrupted way of what happened to the people, what happened to their ancestors, basically. It's a bloodline curse, in my opinion. And in fact, I think the little girl that Tabitha sees, that everyone thinks is young Tabitha, is actually like an ancestral memory of like a past cycle, one of her past ancestors going through this. And I think that's what potentially what Miranda sees as well.
Okay, so I see 3 comments right in a row that make a lot of sense. Miss T, how you doing? Good to have you in the building. She says Victor had that coat in the real world, was in the picture on the wall. That's a fact. Man in Black pretty much adds to the sentiment by saying he probably had it from Maine. That's a fact. And Daryl Seymour says Victor said it never snowed here before, and I believe that is true. Okay, so that's where we can talk a little bit. Okay, so you're right about him having this in Maine, right? He did have that coat in Maine. However, in the root cellar, when we see Miranda leaving the children, she tells Victor to take care of his sister, and she gives Eloise the crayon thing and tells her to continue drawing. Keep drawing your pictures. Keep coloring your pictures, right? So this means that if Eloise ran out there, Victor either found the cigarette case. He either found the crayon case out there or she dropped it and ran. Didn't look like she took it with her. She probably just dropped it and ran. The key point is Ethan finding it inside of the jacket. That's the thing. Because when we see Victor in the root cellar, it's not cold. It's not snowing. It's not, none of that's going on. But then at some point, how does her crayon case get into that jacket pocket, regardless of where the jacket comes from? Regardless if it came from Maine, which we know it does. We know before he left he had that coat. But how does it get in the pocket? That's the question. It's because Victor possibly used that coat before, meaning it probably got cold. But who knows? We'll probably find out later. I don't trust Victor's memories. I don't trust Victor's memories. This is a guy that forgot he had an entire sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his memories are not to be trusted, just like Sarah's actions. Sarah's Sarah's a beast. Okay, Terrence sharing the screen. Let's go.
So I just wanted to let you know why. And by the way, Real, I think what you're saying is totally, feasible and a very interesting way of looking at it, and I agree with it. But sometimes clues are clues to multiple things. So I'm going to say what I think it means. So as you know, I think Ethan is the magician card. What's really interesting is Hannah Cherami described Ethan as the little man. And interestingly, in tarot cards, and only when they're used as playing cards, the magician card is known as the little man. Now, and I think that's why Ethan gets a staff, because the magician holds a staff. But I also think that the reason that Victor gives him this red coat is because he's basically giving him the red mantle of the magician. So it's just another clue to him being the magician tarot card. So that's just my thinking there. I wanted to share it briefly.
Okay, and I can agree with that as well. Like the double meaning thing. Jason said he's beginning to remember, so I believe him. All right. The thing about it is, he said that he gave Ethan that before he remembered his sister. So this is something that he said a while ago. As a matter of fact, he mentioned the seasons changing when he took Jade to the car graveyard. As they were walking through, he said these leaves are changing colors. That's never happened before. So I don't know at what point do we start saying that Victor starts remembering stuff? At what point do we say that his memories are reliable? You know what I mean? I just don't trust his memories. He's still trying to remember shit. This dude had to dig up a whole suitcase full of shit to remember that something pretty much insignificant that we already really knew. Like, think about it, right? Victor saw the damn doll in the tunnels. So who gives a shit, right? Like, I don't know. That's just my thinking. What are your thoughts on that, Darren?
Sorry, man. I just had to.
That's what I said. That's what I said, man in black. That was my theory, that Donna has been erasing Victor's memory with the peaches, because it's very funny that as soon as the peaches ran out, he starts getting some of his memories back. He starts being a little bit more palpable with people. Like, he starts actually engaging, going down into the town. Victor didn't go down into the town until he went to see Ethan, to talk to Ethan at the diner about the boy in white. Victor wasn't going in town or anything. Now the peaches run out, everything's changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, his memories are coming back. He's starting to talk to Tabitha. He's starting to talk to Jade. Like, there are no more peaches, you know. And now look at how Donna is cozying up to old boy now, his father. You know, she's like, there for that. But we don't know why the peaches are no longer there. We don't even know where the animals came from. No doubt. We don't know how the people are getting there yet. We don't know how, the method, what it is. Obviously, they don't drive through a tree. You know what I'm saying? They come to a tree. So this portal or whatever that brings them in there is not dependent on anything in Frumland. I don't think. I think they can just open that shit up while you're on the road. You get caught slipping on the road, bam, you end up in this place. When we want you here, not when you want to find it, but when we want you here, that's when we're gonna bring you here. That's what I think happened to Miranda. You know, in my theory, I left this in my prediction video. I believe that Miranda had ran off with the guy Christopher. That was her side piece. That was my theory. It's even in my prediction video. So it's like, I think that she ran off with him and ended up in this place. And you know how, the guy's just trying to be nice to the kids because he messing with the mom or something like that. And so Victor was like, yeah, he's a nice guy and all of this shit. He makes us laugh and smile. Yeah, I bet he does. He's twisting your mom out. So it is what it is. There's a way out via the roads. I believe so. I believe there's a door that's a way out as well. The man in
Yeah.
black drops the super chat and says, "Do you think Victor shanked the dude in the chamber? Victor's face was dirty when he came out the cellar." Ooh,
Victor shanked the dude.
ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
that is smart.
Yo,
That is
I'm gonna
smart.
tell you something about Victor.
That
Victor
is,
done killed somebody before.
dude, he killed that dude. He killed that guy. Is that Christopher? Did he grow a beard like Jade at the end?
I don't know. Victor killed somebody before, y'all. The
Dude,
way he pointed the pistol at Randall, he had the eyes of a killer. Like, dude, I will squeeze this motherfucker, man. Fuck's wrong with you putting your hands on the little kid and putting your hands on me and shit like this? I will squeeze this shit on you, bro. That was his whole Victor's face looked like, yo, I done this before, bro. Why you think I got the pistol in the lunchbox? That's so you don't see it coming.
Yeah, maybe
Mia
he shot
Moore.
him. Maybe he shot him.
Mia Moore agrees with that too. Thank you for
Guys,
your
I
super
should've
chat,
seen-
man in black, by the way, bro. Like, I appreciate that. And Mia Moore comes through. She said, I said that too. Yeah.
I agree with it. I agree with it 100%.
I think Victor done shot somebody
He
before.
shot someone.
Yeah.
That's probably where he got his gun. He probably shot him with his own gun, that guy. I bet
That
Victor
would be
picked up the gun.
crazy.
Victor picked up the gun and shot him.
If the spoilers are true, it confirms one of Real's esoteric theories. Yo, I couldn't unsee it, Scarmonger. And I have not. See, this is the thing. That's why I haven't dropped my shit, because the spoilers came out and I don't want to look like the rest of these corny dudes that's out here acting like they had an epiphany. But fair enough, though. I've been saying my shit since last year. So I might as well just go ahead and cook. Because
yeah, but you can't mention it now in this live because they'll know that it's connected.
Of course, I'm not. That's why I, Taran, we eye to eye. I'm doing the two eye to eye thing right now. We eye to eye. You see where I'm coming from. You see my dilemma. So
yeah, it's hard. That's the problem. That's why this is the season where they teach. So basically, right, if you don't give screeners, the smaller channels aren't gonna love you very much, generally, right? That's what they do it for. They want to access the TV shows early. They want to interview the cast. If they don't get the screeners, they're not gonna love it. So this is the season where they get everyone on board. They bring on all the small channels. They do a big inside joke with them. And then they're like, sorry, guys, this show actually can't have spoilers. So we're not actually going to do screeners except for some very trusted, like larger channels. But unfortunately, as you saw what happened when the last spoilers came out, how disruptive it was to the community, please can you understand? And please be our friend and continue making content about us, even though we're not giving you super early screeners. I think that's what the message they're trying to convey is. Okay.
I've never wanted to finish a season so fast.
Yes, but
I've never wanted it to be over so fast. Like since the shit leaked, I just want it to be over at this point. I'm like, yo, y'all just trying to fuck up the game for everybody that's having fun.
But that's why I think it's episode 8 where it splits.
So you think that? So all right. So we discussed some of the promo photos, and we're not going to discuss them here. No. But what we can say, what we say.
Yeah.
Some of the promo photos look sketchy, but we got to see the episode to really know the level of sketchiness we're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like in any other season, we would be discussing the promo photos as if they're not spoilers, because everyone looks at them and they don't consider them spoilers because they're publicly released by the show. So the show doesn't. Yeah, and Chocolate Beauty, that is why I think that these spoilers are actually like an alternate ending that was filmed in the actor's spare time. In fact, let me just say this now, guys. This is my prediction. No one else has said it. I predict that the ending that was filmed was written by the actors themselves. I think that John Griffin and Jeff Pinkner and Jack Bender know that the actors are super frustrated that they don't get to improvise, they don't get to add anything. It's a super restrictive environment where you have to follow the lines exactly, and the lines are awkward. So they're like, tell you what, guys, you go ahead and write your own 2 episodes about what you think the answers are and how you think it would go, and we'll make it, and that'll be an alternate ending that we send out to hundreds of channels where they get all 10 episodes super early. We see if it leaks organically, and if it doesn't, we'll leak it the week before. And they probably only released all 10 recently. I'm not sure actually on the details there on how recently.
Nah, they did it from the jump.
Was it from
They
the jump?
They did it before it came out, like early September.
Wow.
Which is fucking early. As a matter of fact, okay, so they released 4 first, and then I believe they released all 10 of them second, and but that happened before episode 1 even aired.
Okay,
which is corny as shit to me. And the only thing that makes sense is them having some kind of alternate ending than what they sent out to these people to see.
Exactly. So I think the actors actually wrote it themselves. They were like, what if we, like, for example, David Alpay is a very successful musician. I think that he improvised the answers that we get in the spoilers.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, let's not even, that's too much. That's a little too much. Don't say nothing. But hey, I want to say this. And I agree with Chocolate Beauty 100%. No offense to the small channel, but I don't even deem myself worthy of getting the shit early. So how the fuck you got less than 100 subs and you getting whole seasons of shit? I don't understand. What is it to be a press person? You just sign up and you just tell them, give them your information. Like, what is it? What is the requirements? Do you have to have any kind of journalism experience? Like, what? How do you just get that? I don't understand how you could just sign up and get the episodes to a show early. I would have been doing this shit all my life if I would have known that I could do that. Like, I could have saved myself a lot of time waiting. I could have been binge watching before there was binge watching. Like, what?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. And Scarmonger, shout out to Scarmonger, says my lips are sealed, but it's only something. It's only something that Real mentioned, no other channel. Shout out to that. Shout out to you for pointing that out, and shout out to you for not dropping what the spoilers are. We don't want them in here. I appreciate that, Scarmonger, for sure.
Del Senior will delete anything that appears.
Oh yeah, she got a katana blade ready to slice. Believe that. Groover Super says, to your peaches theory, I Googled what's the main benefit of eating peaches, and it says regulates memories came up as one. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. All City say they should give me early release. Go get them. Apparently, you can just sign up for them with 5 subscribers on YouTube.
I don't want any early release. Screw that. Screw that. I don't want any early release. I want no one to get anything. I would like it that everyone sees it on the same day. That's what I would like. In an ideal way.
Yeah. Okay. Mita said, Mita Janadis, I'm gonna just stick with the first name. Mita says, or the dude did it to himself and Victor found him, and there's how Vic got his firearm. Yeah, because people are unaliving themselves on this show. Yeah, that's definitely something to see. Okay, so Scarmonger says it makes sense. Okay, hey, look, it is what it is. Could the creators himself be plants? Yes. That they planted the shit themselves. Like, that's what you're saying.
Yes, I'm very sure that that's the case, actually. I think yeah, that may be true.
I think you're just going through the grief stages and you're too
That's true.
shocked to accept it, but it's real and true. Okay, that could be it.
That's why I'm calling it copium, because I find it, I actually find it really hard to see how other people see me. It's one of my things. So I find it very hard to self-assess and under. This is like the worst show for me, where I don't understand, how other people see me.
Ooh.
I get confused. So I don't
Yeah,
know
boy.
if I'm coping or not.
Yo, if you are, that's crazy. I'm coping with you though, because I'm just mad. I'm coping because I'm pissed about it. I'm not like, hey, I saw the shit. I can't unsee it. It is what it is. Um, you heard what I showed you the comment Scarmonger said, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Mia Moore drops a super chat. They bought in Acosta to show Boyd the difference between a Phantom and a Chrysler. Real cop shit. Ah, yo, that's crazy. So who's the Phantom then? So is Acosta the Phantom and Boyd's the Chrysler? Don't turn my man. You trying to say my man Boyd is a Chrysler 300 with and and Acosta's the real deal cop. I think Acosta's the Chrysler. And I'm gonna tell you why she's the Chrysler. She's the Chrysler because uh she just got out the damn academy. You see, she ain't want to answer that question. She ain't nothing but a new jack on this thing. This man Boyd was out there, had soldiers dying in his arm before she was out of middle school. So yes, indeed. Mia Moore, thank you for your super chat. Indeed, it's great to have good commentary in the chat for sure. We love it.
By the way, guys, Samantha Brown has done like something like 6 pretty long interviews. It seems like she enjoys doing them because she stays on the interview really long, and she's actually kind of hilarious as well. By the way, but yeah, shout out to Samantha Brown doing all these interviews. They are quite fun to watch. She says some pretty interesting things as well. So yeah, I actually recommend listening in on those. So if you just search Samantha Brown from on YouTube, like a bunch of them will come up. They're pretty
Yo,
interesting.
here, yeah, she's a rookie. She's a rookie. She's the rookie. She's the Chrysler. She's got to be the Chrysler. But yo, I'm gonna say this. I think that I think that Acosta may have been brought in to butter up to Kenny, and then they kill her and take something else from Kenny all over again. What if they're just bringing some? What if this whole show is fuck Kenny? Like for real, like because Christy, I don't know why she would say, "Hey, dude, you're not alone in this place. You've got me." Like, girl, don't you realize that this man just lost his mom and his dad? They're not gonna care about getting rid of you. Like, it'll benefit them.
I get where she's coming from, though. I mean, like if I was in a nightmare situation and my entire family died and I was just there, and then the girl that I had a crush on left me to be with her fiance, and I'm literally there, friendless and alone. And there's been multiple suicides already. And Christie's greatest fear, and she talked to Kenny about this already. She said, "Come to me before you ever do anything like that," right? So now she's scared because she's got this fiance. He's not going to come to her. So of course she's going to go to him and be like, "Look, I'm here for you. Like, please, don't let's, what can we, we were close before we went in a relationship. Can we keep this going? Will you let me be that person for you?" And Kenny's in denial. He's in denial. He's in denial of his pain. He's in denial of his ability to handle his pain. I mean, he's pretty stoic at the moment, but I'm sure, the actor for Kenny is pretty good at showing this sort of bubbling undercurrent of sheer terror and grief, and he's just putting this very brave face on, but you can see the pain. Like that conversation with Acosta, he's so defeated in the way that he speaks to her. you know very
What do you
interesting.
mean? What do you mean? Who, Kenny?
Yeah,
I think he was doing the same thing he was doing to Jade.
that's true. But yeah, no, that's a good point. He does sort of have the same, but I don't know. I felt like there was more pain behind it, more giving up. I think
I was
Kenny.
surprised that he was even doing it, being that he just lost his mind. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even been there to do that. Like, yo, figure this shit out on your own, chick. You ain't even take that musty ass uniform off yet. I know that thing up under there smelling like all kind of uh, uh, bacon grease and sour sausage with cabbage in it. Like, yeah, girl, you
What
need
is
to go.
Kenny's arc this season? I wonder. What is his arc? He's what is he doing? You know, he's lost his parents.
Yeah, y'all heard.
What is he doing?
Jessica, Jessica said, "Stop it, real." Yeah, Taran saved her from the real live roast just then because she still got on that, and you know them cop uniforms is thick too, so you know that thing smelling like ooh wee up under there.
I'll tell you who smells the worst is Elgin. That man has been wearing that
Wearing
t-shirt
that,
for
yo, it's
a
out of
long
Elgin
time.
Henry. Henry went and got some drip though. Henry went and got a nice little shirt with the vest. Donna hooked him up like, you know, like how she just like took a homeless dude to Kmart real quick. She went and hooked him up real quick. But yeah, but it's some musty motherfuckers up there running around in Colony House, sleeping on floors and everything up in there. Elgin took a bath in one t-shirt and he won't take the other t-shirt off in the air. So what we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, he's been sweating, you know, he's been sweating a lot lately. He's been seeing monsters and things like that, you know. He's
Smoking weed and shit. You know, you know he been sitting there smoking weed and sweating in that big ass shirt, stinking and shit, bro. Get that shit off. Go out, like,
it's
come on, y'all.
it's to bang us over the head that it's a clue. And let me tell you, I don't know what that thing means. I
That
don't know.
shirt with the, yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I've got a theory. So we got a red splotch and a yellow splotch, right? And people say that they're in the shape of states. I've never been able to line them up. I think that it's if you mix red paint and yellow paint, what color do you get? You get orange, right?
Yes,
This season we're seeing a lot more people wearing orange. You know, we got Victor wearing his like orange thing. He's got like strips of orange, and I believe orange is one of the colors of the seven beings. Each one has a color assigned to them, right? So I'm thinking that maybe Elgin's going to be possessed by one of the seven beings. Maybe the orange one, whatever the orange one is. I'm still confused on the colors, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, Golden Child said, don't forget Fatima dead body breath had. Hey, Fatima breath smell like ass in McDonald's right about now. This bitch been eating rotten fruit, rotten vegetables, rotten potatoes, rotten eggplants. You know her breath. And Ellis, how is like Ellis? You got to give this man his flowers. He is putting up with some serious shit. I know when he found her eating that rotten food, he was like, I know. I was wondering why your farts was smelling so motherfucking bad. I thought it was pregnancy farts. That's rotten food farts. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, yeah, her farts is like the Cthulhu monster itself. I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh man. Uh, yeah. I don't have a comment for that. I can say, but I can taste it. It's horrible. All right, so here's what I want to say because I unfortunately I have to go real. But here's what I want to say. There is a scene where Julie and Randall do a driving lesson, right?
Yeah, go ahead, yo. I'm just highlighting funny shit. Go ahead. My bad.
And Julie is all over Randall in like a really creepy fangirl way, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to let you finish laughing?
No, go ahead. Julie's all over Randall in a real creepy fangirl way. I'm with you, bro.
Okay. All right. You with me? All right.
I'm with you now. I'm
All
just
right.
laughing at the comment. I can read and think at the same time. Now let's go.
All right. And then also Julie, Randall is teaching Julie something as well, and then he's also kind of rejecting her at the same time. So I think that this is to represent, and I know this is going to sound super corny and crazy, but for anyone who does believe my theory out there who's listening in, I believe that that scene is to recreate Bridget of York learning cunning folk magic from the Shepherd Lord, Henry Clifford, who then gets her pregnant, resulting in her being kicked out of the abbey and leaving a daughter in her place, Agnes of Eltham, who ends up marrying Henry Clifford's bodyguard. And that is the story of Bridget of York leaving to join a troupe of minstrels before she jumps on John Cabot's ship and heads to Newfoundland. That's what I think that links to, and that is why Julie has been instructed. So Hannah Jeremy, if you are listening out there, if you are listening to the theories on Real's channel, I would say the reason why you were instructed to act super fangirly and kind of creepy is because that's the historical event from the show's origin story that you're recreating. So it is kind of creepy romance there from a much younger girl, because Bridget would have been a teenage girl at this time. She would have been about 16, with a much older man teaching her something. And the story of Henry Clifford is very interesting because there's multiple poems about Henry Clifford basically rejecting a woman and abandoning her after she shaves her head and swears off everything to be with him. And I imagine that when he knocks up Bridget of York, she goes and declares her love for him, and he leaves her and abandons her. And then she has to go back and give birth at the Dartford Priory. So I know that sounds super crazy. Unfortunately, it's going to sound like this, where there's people who don't believe in my theory and are just going to zone out and let me ramble. And there's going to be other people who do believe in it, who are frantically Googling potentially to try and figure out if I'm right or not. So I'm sorry if that sounded really crazy, but it's what I'm thinking is going on.
No, you right on. Like, me, I just don't trust Sarah. I think Sarah's on some bullshit. Y'all will never get me to trust a person that was going to kill a little kid with a dirty ass scalpel that she got out of a drawer that wasn't even covered up properly. And yeah, I don't trust Sarah. She kissed old boy before she stabbed him in his throat. Don't trust her.
Yeah, can I
I,
also say, Samantha Brown in her interviews has been dropping kissing clues for some reason. She's been kissing.
who's
Yeah,
Samantha? Is that Sarah
that's Acosta. Acosta.
Acosta? Okay, Samantha
Yeah,
Brown is
yeah.
Acosta.
She's been she's been saying stuff. She's been using the word kissing. Um, chef's kiss, I think she said at one point, and then she's teasing one of the interviewers, and she starts like kissing at him. It was kind of unusual. She was going like,
Oh
"Join me."
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So so kissing is obviously a clue on the show. I think the Judas kiss is part of this. Part of, like, there's a sort of biblical sort of allegory happening with a Judas kiss that I think is like recreated in the origin story. Sort of Christ-like sort of recreation with like the Last Supper, the betrayal by a close friend, following, and then there's a witch trial afterwards. Rather than
Jessica O says she blew a kiss to E-Man reviews too.
all right, well there you go. She's been
She
told do
just
some clues
she's
today.
been blowing the kisses. Jessica O be peeping the shit that we be saying, yo. I love it. I love how, and I even love the pushback that we get from some people as well. Like PM says, unfortunately, I like your theory, but I don't think it's going to work out all from where the show is going. It's a no for me now, unfortunately. That's
Yeah,
cool. Like,
this is someone who's read the spoilers potentially. Yeah, what can I say? I think it's, and I actually think it doesn't necessarily rule out anything in my theory, particularly a few things, but not what I just said. For example,
okay.
my theory is 18,000 words. So if you want to try and figure out what has been ruled out, it's not a spoiler. So
Oh
that'll be
no says something interesting. She says, I actually think Marielle, Julie, and Randall all identify as queer. A Freddie Craven 80s slasher film trope. They're they aren't fitting in with the societal norms that are being targeted by dreams and demons. That's crazy. I don't know about that though. What
well, I mean,
about I don't know
Fatima,
about Randall.
Fatima has that lesbian kiss. with the redheaded girl whose name I've forgotten.
Yeah.
So she would be on this list as well. I do think there's actually a homophobic component to this. I believe that the priest involved in the witch trial, whose name was Girolamo Savonarola, I probably butchered that name. He's like this mad priest who was an extreme homophobe. And I think it's actually why the witch trial happens in the origin story. So I think that you've got something there. There's something to that. So very interesting, Joe Knows. I like that the way you're thinking there.
Yeah, I mean, somebody has just started the live over. K said, missed y'all live, so I'm rewatching as it's going on. I definitely see what you mean when you say 6 and 7 flow together. This also this season feels more like the theme of it being a big story. Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like this. It seems like a separate story from what we know. But the only reason why it feels like that is because we started off with Tabitha out and they brought her back so quick. So it just seems like I don't know. It just seems like we right back in Frumlin in the way that we were before. We just got some new people now. Now we're gonna kill some people. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's the cheapest that it feels to me. But everything else is great. Everything's been great. You know what I mean? All of the episodes have been great. I think I gave episode 5 or 6 a 8. So at the current standings, what if we watched 7 episodes? So we have like a 68 score right now for me as far as the entire season. We'll see what happens this next episode. This is the one that is going to. So let me ask you a question, Taran. Everybody in here is like hearing what you're saying about there being an alternate ending, and the screener people were probably sent off, fake Johnnies or whatever. But what if that isn't the case? Where you go from there? Where do you go if everything that the spoilers are saying is real? Where do you go from there? As far as your theory, does it change anything major or what? What's going on?
Yeah. So I'll leave on that note. But before I do, I just want to call out Lady Stoneheart's question, which was that Bridget of York had a maternal grandmother who was also an accused witch, one of the earliest accused witches in history, actually. And yeah, I read all of that, and it took me a while to make the Henry Clifford connection. So I thought that was how she was a witch for a long time. And I think it's actually just a clue. So I didn't include it in my theory because the Henry Clifford connection is much more likely. Cunning folk magic is a peasant magic that pretty much only Henry Clifford would have been able to learn because he grew up as a peasant. That's why he was called the Shepherd Lord. He grew up as a shepherd. Okay, so your question was, where do I go if the spoilers are true? Well, I don't think pretty much any of them discredit any major part of my theory, to be honest.
Okay.
So it's minor adaptations I would have to make. However, those adaptations fly in the face of all logic. So I just think they're fake. And I don't know. It's weird because right now I'm really certain. An hour ago I was in total doubt. So I'm still oscillating between the two. And it's really talking about it that convinces me. But I doubt myself. People lose confidence in their thinking. I have very few people in the world who think that I'm even close to correct about anything I'm saying at the moment. I think you've got a little bit of confidence in me, Real, but generally speaking, nothing I've predicted so far has come true. Like nothing. Outside of one thing that's coming up that I don't want to spoil.
One thing that you did predict was the wedding between Ellis and Fatima.
Yeah, and also the pearl earring that showed up
Pearl
earlier this.
earring.
Yeah, I believe that's another clue to the same pearl earring that I'm already talking about. Like I've seen what's been quite heartening is that this season I've seen more clues to things that I've already predicted, which has been great. But yeah, these leaks have got me extremely suspicious. The actors are acting so suspicious. They're all giddy with excitement.
One thing before you leave, I definitely want to share something with the audience. They come through here every single week to watch you and I talk on the Wednesday and hear what we got to say to each other about this show. I want to share something with them. Now, as you guys know, Taran and I have very similar theories. We're both looking at this in an esoteric way, peeping some of the things that he's saying are hidden clues, and I feel like they are hidden meanings, right? Okay, so in a private conversation that we recently had, maybe a couple of days ago, I asked Taran, I said, at what point will you believe that what we're seeing and what these clues are that you're seeing are esoteric? And he told me at least until episode 4 of season 4. If none of the stuff shows up in a blatant way, characters, then he'll believe that what I'm saying about the esoteric or hidden meaning of the show. And that's
Yes.
what we're pretty much breaking down.
Yes, I would say that's true. Although I will say, to be honest, if this is a real ending, I will lose a lot of confidence in my theory.
Okay.
Because clearly I've misinterpreted a lot of things. They just don't make sense. And it would also, frankly, and no disrespect to the writers, if this is real, it would make me lose a lot of confidence in the writers as well.
Yes.
That's where
I'm going to tell you, I don't know about that. Well, we talked about this. One thing that a lot of what people are not noticing is that this entire season so far has been a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see certain things. Like, we wanted to see the people talking and having a meeting, so they made that happen. We wanted to see a slow walk.
Capture of a monster, capturing
Right.
a monster.
Capturing a monster. We had talks about that. Do you think that's still going to happen?
No, I think they just wanted to show how ridiculous an idea it was.
It's not really ridiculous if he's killed one already, though.
Yeah, but it's basically, I think the showrunners were speaking a little bit through Katri there, where they're like, what do you expect them to do after that? You got a slow walker trapped in a house. You can talk to it inside the house, I guess, if it wants to talk to you. But now you've got a slow walker trapped in a house. How does that help you? Does nothing.
Nose drops the super chat for $5, and thank you for your generosity, sis. And she says, and this question is probably for you before you go. We let you go after this one. Has anybody analyzed the medallion that Ellis has been wearing? He was wearing his mother's pearl previously. I tried to Google image search it.
Is that the arrow-shaped one?
Yes, the arrow. It looks like an Indian arrowhead.
Yeah, I have no idea what it means. I've looked at it. I'm not like look. I'm good at spotting patterns and things like that, I think. But in terms of like general knowledge of symbols, what can I do but just Google symbol? I just don't have it. But there's certain things
right off the top of my head, I'm thinking Indian arrowhead.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. That's probably where I would go as well. But my point is that you can't research your way through symbols sometimes if you don't have something to go off. And there's so many references in my opinion, that you're basically left with the entire gamut of symbols. It's slightly narrowed, but barely. So it's too much work to try and reverse engineer it that way. So for me, it's more like if I stray across it, I'll make the connection. But there's no way, and it would just take so much work to solve one little clue that's super vague and may just sort of be decorative. So I don't know, to be honest. But a good question. I'll keep listening.
A friend of mine that I grew up with, he had an uncle that was like on drugs or whatever. I didn't even know that the guy was on drugs until I became an adult and realized, like, oh shit, this guy was a crackhead the whole time. But this guy used to go off the top of his head with symbols. I don't know what kind of schooling or what kind of books that this cat was reading, but he used to go off the top of the head. He used to be able to show symbolism and everything. And I thought that he was a real cool dude and stuff like that. As he got older and stuff, like, you asking, the little kids in the neighborhood if they got change and shit. You start realizing that he had some other issues as well. But this guy I bet you if he was watching this show, he'd be able to just be naming shit right off the top of his head. I get a lot of that from just being around dude's uncle, because he was like that. He was able to show you symbolism, and like you could be anywhere. Like if we're getting a good view of downtown Orlando or something. I grew up in Florida, and getting a good view of downtown Orlando and just certain buildings and certain symbols and just certain esoteric symbolism that you see all over the place. That was one of the old heads that used to point that shit out to me. His name was Melchizedek. And yes, indeed, I wanted to do that before you left too, is give Tilly her, you know, rest in peace, Tilly. Like, I know you wasn't no
She's
Mrs.
coming back.
Lou.
She's coming back. She's
Okay,
coming.
so you saying she's coming back. All right, so I know she
Eventually.
wasn't no Mrs. Lou or anything like that, and I don't think
She's
she's
the
gonna
hag.
get a funeral.
She's definitely the hag. She's definitely the hag. She's one of the actual monsters, and I think Elgin might become her avatar.
Man,
That's
I
what.
told y'all that wasn't nothing wrong with Tilly. I told y'all that all that stuff
No,
that
no,
makes y'all suspect
everything's
Tilly.
wrong with Tilly. Everything's wrong with Tilly. She's
Every
actually neutral. She's half bad. She's a neutral. She's just trying to make things go smoothly. That's all Tilly wants. Tilly doesn't think there's a chance to win the hag. She just wants people to go through the hard thing that they have to go through with as little pain as possible. Okay, so she's just she's trying to help, basically, but she's doing it but she's trying to help it along. You know, she's not trying to
Nah,
prevent.
now see Victor
That's
here.
what's happening
Victor
here.
says that you have to admit how now that Tilly was sus, she is like, no, she wasn't sus to me. I think that the
All right, I'm
thing,
sorry, man. I can't do the
yeah,
comments when I'm
you go
saying
ahead.
goodbye.
You go ahead.
I
You
can't
go
do the
ahead.
comments when I'm saying goodbye.
Yeah,
Let me finish my thought if that's okay before I
yeah,
leave.
go ahead.
Comment. Okay, so all I say is this: you know, Tilly clearly is sus. She's clearly ingratiating herself with Ellis and Fatima. Tilly has now, Fatima stabs her, and Tilly says, "You have to run." I think that Tilly basically is just smoothing along the process. She's trying to help Fatima and reassure her. She's trying to help Ellis and reassure him because for her, she's seen it happen 30 times before, maybe 100 times before. And she just wants it to go as painlessly as possible because she knows it has to happen every time. That's my opinion. One last thing. Did you notice how in two separate scenes across 2 seasons, Boyd argues with someone about them possessing a weapon? And
Yeah.
then and I think that is recreating a scene where a man named Juan Borgia, who faked his death and came to Newfoundland with John Cabot, is arguing with John Cabot, confiscating his sword. And eventually John Cabot says, in my opinion, you go and live on your own off to the side. This is the shack that we see when Boyd's about to set off with Sarah in season 1, I think it is. That shack, I think, is sort of to represent where Juan Borgia goes off to live on his own. So again, Randall's recreating Juan Borgia, and in that scene, it was recreating the same scene with using Acosta, in my opinion. So every scene that we see on the show is actually like a corrupted, repeated version of something that happens in the origin story, and you have to try and figure out what it means. All right, thanks very much, Real, for letting me talk so long. And
Absolutely, no problem. As always, man. You good. You always good over here.
all right, take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye.
Peace. That was the great Taran Matthew. And as always, we love hearing his theories and how he feels about the show and what his theories are. You know, even though we don't agree on some of the stuff, we do agree on a lot of things. You know what I mean? One thing that I found it strange is that how people were also almost like convincing Tabitha that she needs to be in this place. You know? Like Jim is like, when he was pouring her tea, he was like, yeah, baby, it's all good. You know, you here now and we're all here together. So that's all that matters. Like, and then he's like, come on, baby, come on, lay in the bed with me. Then when Donna, you know, Donna was putting the rocks around Dale's body or whatever in the pool. You know, Donna was just like, yeah, you're lucky to be here. You're lucky. You're what? And Tabitha kind of looked at her like, what the fuck you talking about? Lucky to be here. Like, I ain't lucky. But like, yeah, she was saying you're lucky to be here and all of this right here. So I think that there is something up with some of the people just wanting to be more and more complacent while you have these few people that are trying to scratch themselves up out of this barrel that they're stuck in. Okay. Native Americans long believed that wearing a hand-carved arrowhead as a talisman around the neck is a symbol of protection, courage, and strength. They also believe that the arrowhead protected them from illness and acted as a guard against the evil eye. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I am very hip to that, and that's some Native American cultures um, definitely adhere to that, and others view the arrowhead as different. Some would actually do scarification rituals with the arrowhead, where they would take the arrowhead and literally burn a scar on themselves. You know what I'm saying? I think we need those weird theories. Um, Terrence said peace. Demo said peace out, Terrence. Demo is who actually met us with us in Providence, and we had a good time with Demo. We had a good time. Demo took us around, showed us where the burial plot of H.P. Lovecraft was. We had a great time. We had a really good time. Chocolate Beauty slides through with the super chat. She says, "Cousin, get the likes up to 100 at least." Like, what we got the likes at? Like, don't tell me we got like 160 people in here. We got 4 likes. Come on, let's do better. Hold on, let me see how many likes we got. Oh, we got 90 likes. Come on, y'all, hit that like button. It's free. And even if you lurking in the shadows, go ahead and do that. Thank you again, sis, for the super chat. We appreciate all of our cousins and familia around here. Yes, indeed, we do. Yes, I'm enjoying the journey and brainstorming with everyone. Yes, I love it. I mean, this show has done something that I have not been able to see any other show do. I haven't seen any other show grab all these different people with all these different types of theories and smash them all into one 10 episode season, and this is the third time that it's been able to do it. And every time the audience grows, I really hope that the finale is everything we want it to be. I hope it really propels us into the next season. And I hope it's that same, I hope it has the same impact as Game of Thrones' third season had. That would be real nice to watch and see for the people that create this show. I wanted to say this right here. Let me talk about these few things here. Now, the slow walkers to me. Now, what have I been saying the slow walkers are? I have been saying that the slow walkers are the ghoulish kids pretty much being transformed. This is why they have the same claws. This is why they have the same veins. This is why the hair is missing. All of that kind of stuff. I'm not getting into any spoilers or anything. I'm just talking about my theory. And Randall said something very interesting to Boyd when they were on the bus in episode, I believe it was episode 5, when they were on the bus talking. And Randall said he describes how the slow walkers come out and they act like kids pretty much. He didn't say this, but he describes children. He said the ones over there, they go sit down and they just be sitting there on the swing set. The other one sits over there and lets his legs swing. The nurse one comes here every night and hums and just hums for about 10 minutes. Like, and I showed you what she was humming. She was humming that "Are You Sleeping?" or that "Farah Jacques, Farah Jacques, dormez-vous." Now, Farah Jacques was an actual religious friar who would go around and he was aspiring to be a surgeon. And back in those days, the clerics and the religious people were who did all medical procedures. They would perform all of the surgeries, all of your extractions, amputating limbs. That was done by religious people, but they were abusing this right that they had to operate on people. And some of them were experimenting on people, which began to get really gnarly. And what happened in history was edicts were passed. And an edict is a decree that said that the clergymen could no longer do any surgeries on anyone. And they started to they started to come up with some sort of system where a person had to be vetted more. It wasn't just you wasn't just going to walk around this guy wearing a robe and now you're allowed to cut on people. And so they started giving this responsibility to barbers, and barbers began to bear this responsibility. And I noticed the barber pole. I talked about all of these things last year when I talked about the barber pole and how the slow walkers came to be. If you've seen that video, look for it. Just search it on my channel. It's called "How the Slow Walkers Came to Be." And so I talked about the barber pole and the red and blue representing the the veins, the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood and all of this. But Farajaka, what she is humming to him is actually related to the surgeries of gallbladders. This man used to do gallbladder surgeries, and gallbladders is where the bile came from Smiley when she was stabbing, when Christy snapped out and was stabbing him when all the organs were dried up. She said, I stabbed him in the gallbladder. And that's where Boyd was like, where's that coming from? She was like, it's coming from the gallbladder. And I just thought it was a very interesting connection that Farajaka, being a friar that used to do these, operations, he specialized in gallbladder surgery. And it just made me think, now with the revelation of Tabitha actually having a dream about this place and seeing her take Ethan and Jade and Jim all in the same place, it really had something dawn on me. It made me also think about how there have been two people that have confirmed that they dreamt about this place before they got there as little kids. And we know that it was Tabitha and Abby, Iron Abby, Boyd's wife. They both dreamed about this place when they were little girls. Or at least Abby says it reminded her of a dream she had when she was a little girl. So now I brought all of that up to say, right next to the Farajaka, letting others in, exactly, and ringing the bell as well. It also brings up Purple Alizé. I see your comment down there. I'm kind of away from the computer. Let me step back over here. I'm doing 10 things at once. Okay, yeah. I brought all of that up aside to what I was saying about the slow walkers acting like children. I brought that up to say that there have been confirmed children dreaming about this place, or people dreaming about this place when they were children. Now, I also want to point these things out as well. Randall might be one of these children that has had a dream about this place, because we see Randall carving out what looks like those totems. It looks like he was carving one of the heads to those totems. And we seen him carving back in season 2, episode 5. So I think that there have been several children that had this dream of this place when they were younger, and Randall might be one of them. Because why is he carving some shit that looks like it came from them cabins, y'all? So we already know that when you look at Eloise's drawings, she's drawing a bunch of kids. She's drawing male and female children. She specified this with the triangle dresses and the box pants for the boys, the triangle dresses for the girls. And we also see Randall carving one of these things. Tabitha, the same thing that Tabitha is, I'm sorry, my stuttering kicked in real quick. The same thing that we see Tabitha realizing that she had that dream was one of those totem heads in a drawing, in one of Jade's drawings. And by the way, whoever drew that shit for Jade, that shit was fire. Like, yeah, whoever is the artist for that, yeah, they killed that. I wish we'd see some more artwork from that person too. I wish we'll see Jade doing some more artwork, because if that's what his shit look like, then his shit is fire. We need some more artwork, possibly for the next Christopher or Jade archetype that's gonna come there, if our people don't stop the cycle this time. I think that the cave drawing is definitely a prophecy of Boyd and Sarah walking through the woods. It shows everything that we've seen thus far up to this point. So I think that I still think that the slow walkers are the children, have been transformed because they act like children. You know what I'm saying? The slow walkers act like children. They want to play games. They like playing games, and that is one set of thoughts that I had for this. I'm gonna look through the comments to see if anybody was chiming in on some of that. Brooke Knit said, "I think that makes sense too." Yeah, I mean, it does. Let's see here. I think those kids need to be freed, the future chosen. Okay. If the slow walkers are former townspeople, what made the difference between them and everyone else who was killed? I don't know. Farajak also implies letting others in and or mind. Yes, indeed. We talked about that. Yeah. So I have not checked out the leaks and have continued on with my assumption. Can anyone answer yes or no? Do the leaks repute or dismiss any of my fan theories? I don't know any of your fan theories. Drop some of your theories. And somebody said that the leaks say something that only I have said. That's what Scaremonger said. Now I'm not saying that, y'all, and I think I might know what Scaremonger's talking about. But Scaremonger said that the leaks definitely confirm something that only I have stated, that only I have been talking about. And y'all know I'm not in this to gloat or say or none of that shit. I'm having fun. I'm telling you the esoteric things that I see. And I think that the esoteric things will bring some things to actually materialize, but I think it'll stay to a certain point to encompass the hidden meaning of the show instead of like just flat out giving it to you. I think if they just flat out give us the show, it's over from there. You don't have years and years to come of people trying to figure anything out, people showing the hidden meanings, people going over the clues. I don't think they'll ever lay it out for us. I think that they're just going to simply satisfy us with all of the mysteries that involve the characters and the horror show that we're watching. That's my opinion. I think that this is actually several different shows in layers. I think you have your mystery. I think you have your horror aspect. I think you have an esoteric journey. And I also think you have an underlined hidden meaning. So there are 4 different components to this show, layers of this show. And I think that each of these layers has took years to construct. That's why you see shit popping up in there like Shakespeare. You see things like The Wizard of Oz. You see things like Ozzie and Harriet. You see I didn't put that out there yet. I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about the Ozzie and Harriet thing. I'm gonna talk about other things that I've noticed in this show. This show is definitely pulling off of some shows. And Luna Cascade, if you're still out there, I have not forgot about your request about season 2, episode 5 of American Gods and its correlations to From. I am going to get around to doing that. That's something very interesting that I think. I love the show American Gods, but I definitely got to sit down and rewatch the episodes. Maybe start off in the second season, get up to season 5. I mean, episode 5, and then go ahead and do my video just to have that, clear context of what's going on. Because there may be other things in there that I could miss if I don't see those. But yeah, if you're in there, I'm still going to get to that request. Jessica O says, I've been looking for the leaks. Can't find spoilers anywhere. The lack of answers is getting frustrating. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel like we're not getting any answers, but I can tell you this, we are. We most definitely are getting answers. I told you that the last season of this, may it be 5 or season 6 or season 7, I don't know how many seasons, but I guarantee you the last episode of the show will show that all of this, what we see going on in Frumlin, is taking place on the back of a giant turtle. Y'all gonna laugh at that. Y'all laughing right now, but just go look up Turtle Island and look it up and understand what Turtle Island is. As a matter of fact, figuratively, everything is already happening on the back of a turtle. America is Turtle Island, okay? And if everything is happening and all of our travelers were in the contiguous United States, then this is happening upon the back of that turtle island. You did? So yeah, don't look for the leaks. Jessica, oh, we love you. Don't look for them leaks. Do you think that the fact that Randall has been possessed has anything to do with him carving that head? Well, one thing about that, we did see that he was carving before he was captured by the cicadas. Now, that's a fact. He was definitely carving before the cicadas got him. But we didn't really see what he was carving. But maybe it's the same thing. Maybe he was just finishing it because he had like a bigger block of wood, I believe. And if he is carving those sigil heads, what the hell for? Where the hell would he know that from? Maybe those things literally do keep some kind of monster away, right? And he's doing that because he remembers that shit from a dream or something. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we've already got proof that multiple people have seen this place before they got there. We have proof that at least 2 of those people were children. You know what I'm saying? You have Miranda, she saw it before she got there, but then you have Tabby and Abby. Abby and Tabby. Wow. We got Abby and Tabby. Both had a dream about this place before they got there. You have Randall is making sigils or making heads, carving heads that look like the same thing that triggered Tabitha's memory that she had that dream. So I don't know. Then you have Eloise's drawings with multiple children in the drawing. You see what I mean? Then you have Victor. He said that his friends die in this place. What friends was he talking about? Because there was nobody that he was friendly towards that died in this shit until Miss Lou. We didn't see anything. Okay. Nah, I'm gonna tell you like this. Nah, don't drop no spoilers in here. If they drop a spoiler, we got samurais out here with katanas and blades. Some of them got shurikens. Y'all go ahead and drop a spoiler in that chat if you want to. It'll get sliced right in half. I think the theory that is the cosmic horror story, but I think its underlying hidden meaning is that the little boy in white is breaking the 4th walls. It makes the show better. The boy in white, no character on here has broken the 4th wall. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. Yeah. Breaking the 4th wall is like what Deadpool does when he turns and he looks at the camera and says, "Did you just see this shit?" Like, that's a 4th wall. You know, that's a character breaking the 4th wall. I'm not frustrated actually and love the pace. I love the pace too. I'm loving it. I'm here for that. Like, I'm here for that. True DC fan. I used to think that he was carving fake talismans out of Colony House to get back at Donna. Yo, that would have been crazy if he would have carved a fake ass talisman and stole the talisman out of Colony House. That would have been crazy. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck over one of you people here. Donna cracked the shit out of his ass in the barn with that shotgun though. Book up right upside the head. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. Give me a minute, guys, real quick. I want to try to find something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't think I'm gonna find it. Oh, We got Ebony in here said I sound like Dane Calloway. Yes, indeed. That's my people's right there. I fuck with Dane Calloway's scholarship real heavy. I've been reading that stuff long before I saw his channel. He's been out for a while now, and this is something that my family has actually been diving into. And when I seen that he created an entire YouTube page about it, I was very impressed, and I love what he's done. And he gives a wealth of information. If you know anything about Dane Calloway, you should definitely go check him out. And if you guys, anybody knows Dane Calloway, tell him to come check out some of my material. I'm sure he'll find it intriguing to say the least. Let me look in here and see what else we got. I'm rolling up, guys. We about to do some we about to holler at Fatima. I don't even like calling this shit Fatima's gas pack no more. This motherfucker be eating rotten vegetables and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about calling this shit Fatima's. We gonna call this shit Colony House Kush, god damn it. Shout out to my man Bank Run. If you know, you know. We got this Colony House Kush. This is Colony House Kush right here, y'all. This ain't the Fatima's gas pack no more. I gotta make another one. If you got the Fatima's gas pack joint, I mean, you can still throw that up there, but now we got some higher grade stuff. We call it Colony House Kush. Beth says there are spoilers everywhere. I don't want any for the finale. I heard the spoiler about what Ankui means. Yo, come on. Don't even get close to the spoilers, Beth. Please don't do it. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ebony. I might be going back. Hey, yo, if Demo's still in the building too, I might be coming back out to Providence. I really need to get some footage of the Athenium. I do need to do some reshooting for the Athenium. So I might just come on back out to Providence. It don't cost that much. I'll come on out there, spend a couple days out there, you know what I'm saying, hang out. So I might be back up in Providence maybe December. I'll see if I can get out there in December. But I definitely want to get out there before I start editing it. But I'm going to come back out to Providence. If y'all want to meet me out there, shout out to Ebony. I know you and your family are out there in Boston, and that's where my first stop will be when I get to Boston. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely let everybody know that I'm out there. Pull up on me with what's good. You know, this time Taran won't be there with me, but that's all good. We still gonna go get some footage. I would love to interview some more people from Providence to see what your thoughts are about H.P. Lovecraft and what kind of impact does H.P. Lovecraft have in your community. So I'm gonna come out there. I'm gonna spend maybe a day or two out there in Providence again. I'm gonna come out there by myself and do some more filming. We didn't get a chance to get the Athenium because it was closed on Monday. So I'm gonna go on the weekend again, or maybe going through the weekdays. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. We'll go back. Didn't someone say a correlation between True Detective? Yes, there are a lot. There are a lot. We will get origin answers this season. Oh, okay. I'm a teacher and at a teacher conference board, so I tuned in. Hey, you know what? You might learn a little bit more here than you'll learn there. Who knows? I don't know. I can be patient if I want. Scarmonger, holler at sister Jessica O. She wants some spoilers. Or Jessica O, go into my Discord and get you some spoilers, sis. They're up in there. Like, yeah, that's not even where I got them from. I scrolled and saw the shit on Facebook. I was trying to look at my old uncle's page, and next thing you know, I knew his birthday was coming up. His birthday's around mine somewhere. Next thing you know, I see a spoiler. I said, yeah, damn it. I couldn't unsee it, so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to just go ahead and read it. And yeah, I didn't like it at all. Let me just be real with y'all. So I am also hoping for an alternate ending. What else do we got here? It's so crazy. I have not seen one spoiler. I was looking for it. Yo, yeah, go into the Discord. Yeah, find Delsenia. She'll definitely help you out with that. Not a fake talisman, sis. That would have been funny as hell. What else we got? Oh, you rolling up too? Okay, Ebony. Yes, sir. Caught the Base the Wolf. Yo, what's going on, Base? Good to see you up in here. Yeah, we going Colony House Kush. That's it right there. Mmm. Indigenous indica. Yeah. I like it. I like that. Why do people like saying that they know spoilers? Um, I don't know. It is what it is. Yes, indeed. So yeah, Demo, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna come on up there. If even if or you could get the footage for me. I don't care. But either way, it's got to get done, and I'm gonna do it. If matter of fact, yeah, find some other people that I know some folks that you can interview anyhow. Yeah, that'll be dope. That just let you know. Yeah, that'll be dope. I'll be back up in Providence then. That's what it sounds like. I'm gonna come back up there. I had a great time. Demo, thank you very much for your hospitality and the love that you showed to me and brother Taran. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I also want to check your band out as well. So if you can, you know, hit me with some links or something that I could check it out. You know, what else we got? I was replying to someone in the Discord chat. I looked for on Discord, Facebook, Reddit. I still haven't found shit. Give somebody put the link to my Discord in. Oh, the Discord link is right there. You know what I mean? Some people hate spoilers. Some people like them. Hey, I'm not mad at either one. Um, Here's the thing, right? I'm creating theory. Pardon me, theories for this show, and so spoilers fuck up my theory reputation. Like the spoilers leak, I look at spoilers and make theories about what I saw. Everybody thinks I got it right. Then you find out one or two things. Either those spoilers were fake or that you found the spoilers and shit. And that shit's just lame. I'm not in for it. I'm not in trying to get those types of views. I want views based on me doing what I do. Like that's why people fuck with my channels because I cover the show in a different way. So, and I fuck with this show for real. And I really rock with the creators because I absolutely love what they have done. They have taken me back into my high school days where I used to have to sit there and read Shakespeare and go through shit, do research. You know, I'm one of those children, gifted children that graduated at the age of 16. So, like, you know, this takes me right back to them days. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I digress on that tip. Some people like spoilers, some people don't. I love what they've done, so I respect the show and don't want to see them. Ain't seen a spoiler, don't want to see one. Freedom's March. Goddamn right. I like it. I like it. Mm-hmm. Damn, this chat got a bunch of cool ass people. There's nothing else you can expect when you coming over here to the real enigmas and theories. We rock with just cool people. We ain't rocking with. If you want to be a dickhead, you can go somewhere else. We even got dickheads that come over here and act cool because they know they can't come over here with that dickhead shit. You feel me? So you in the right place, All City Big Hat. Shout out to that. The dickheads come over here. They know how to act right. Pause. Didn't expect you back so soon. Yo, we're going to be laughing it up when I get there. You have a gig on December 19th? Oh, that sounds about like a good time for me to slide through. And I can probably pull up on the show. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to look at that one. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here a little soon, y'all. I'm just trying to vibe with the chat. See if anybody wants to come on up and talk and say their piece, y'all can do so. I'll put the link down there so you can hop on that link, hop on the show, and while I'm waiting on somebody to pop up, I tell you what, I will go through some more of my notes that I had. The wagon wheel Vesica Pisces situation is definitely something in this show. Like, I heard Taran talking about the well and the wheel from the well. I noticed Ethan saying something about why are all the wheels flat. The wheels being flat means that there's time for a change. God damn it! That's what the wheels being flat mean. Why are all the wheels flat? Because it's time for a change, right? And it also could mean the breaking of a cycle. If you've been following my content, these are phrases that you've heard me say. So glad you're back. Thank you. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. I've been chilling for a little while since my birthday, and I have been working on another project for you guys. I have a web series that I'm working on. It's 10 episodes. Each video is gonna be 2 episodes apiece. Uh, all 10 episodes are finally done. I finally wrote all 10 episodes. They are actually done. I'm looking for voiceover actors that want to help complete some of the roles that I have there. I am going to be the main voice, which is the narrator. There's going to be dope artwork behind every shot. Every scene is going to be covered with dope artwork. And there's going to be some dope music in the background that I'm going to compose the score all by myself. I've written this all by myself. So I'm going to be coming with that real soon. So hopefully I can get it done before the season's over, but I don't think so. So if I can still have you guys' attention for when I do get it out, it'll be real dope. This channel really likes you too. Dark and Lovely Fee. Love to see you here. You know, the Primordial Junction says I have a story on my channel like that. I use Microsoft/Designer to make my images. Pretty dope. I use Photoshop and a Wacom tablet. Um, that's what I use. I use a Wacom tablet and Photoshop. So I be drawing and all of that kind of stuff too. I want to look for an artist that's a little bit better than myself. If any of you guys are mean with the artwork out there, I actually want to do this in kind of an anime style like the Boondocks. You know what I mean? More of that, so that we could still show a lot of sex appeal with the characters and stuff. If you want to be a part of it, just reach out to me, realenigmasandtheories@gmail.com. If you want to be a part as a voiceover artist, or if you do artwork, I would love to see what you have, and I can make a decision. Don't think I'm not going to be real with you. If it ain't what I'm looking for, I'm not going to just be like, yeah, like, nah. I'll assess your skills because I'm an artist myself too. But yes, indeed. I heard you mention AOT, how you like it. Love that anime. Yes, indeed. Fire anime. We love anime here. Mia Moore, let's talk about Clara and how she's lasted through everything. Yo, Clara was not on my radar at first, but they have definitely been giving her some more speaking lines, and she's been popping up in some of the weirdest places. I thought it was strange how she left the door open for Julie to go up in there and steal the weed. She was also there when Elgin saw the kimono lady. Things like her giving Jade a bike and her being around and stuff like that, didn't really stick out to me. One thing is that she helps my theory about, I think Colony House heals people. I don't think it's the town selecting certain people or whatever. Everybody that healed stayed at Colony House. There's no way around that. Ethan healed. After a night at Colony House, his leg healed fast. Jim, a whole house fell on him and he was limping around for days. And he still had the scar on his head until he came to Colony House. When Tabitha came back, he spends the night and the scar's gone. I think if you have to stay in one of the rooms, you have to stay in one of the beds at Colony House, and that's how you heal. That's just my theory. it Clara looked like she got a bed at Colony House. You know what I'm saying? For what were some other things? Um, yo, I thought that this was crazy when they didn't see the baby in the sonogram. Fatima originally was saying that it was impossible for her being pregnant. It was impossible. It was medically impossible. And now she's saying that it is her not being pregnant is impossible. She that I just find the irony in that. I see a lot of characters are switching and changing into different mindsets. Like Boyd wanted to catch one of them slow walkers after Miss Lou's funeral. He talks to Ellis. Ellis was pussy. He wasn't about that slow walker catching life. He gets into the station. He says, Dad, I think we need to play it safe. Boyd is like, what the fuck, man? I went out there. I'm back. I saved the people. The dudes went out there. They're back. They found a bunch of food. What the fuck you mean play it safe? We got to fight back. He was not about it. All of a sudden, they have a meeting. And now Boyd is talking about playing it safe, and Ellis is the one talking about taking risks. So I do see like how the people are kind of like changing, and their demeanors and their frames of mind are actually changing. Yes, indeed. So yes again, Mia Moore. Thank you for your super chat as well. Who else we got here? Who else has some good things to say? I'm gonna post the link down there again to see if y'all want to come through and hop up here before I get off. I'll probably stay on for a few minutes longer. Okay, what else do I have here? The slow walkers act like kids. I mean, yeah, I talked about the slow walkers acting like kids, and how they let their legs swing. They play on the swing set. Not only that, they're humming songs and having tea parties and shit. Like that's kid shit. You know what I'm saying? What else we got? Oh, yo, did you notice the water in the tunnels? There's more water in the tunnels now. Victor and his father was slipping and sliding on them rocks through them tunnels. And also Tabitha also mentioned that there was water. She asked Victor where was the water coming from. I'm noticing that Mari and Christy both don't want people to be alone. They've both said, hey, I don't want you to be alone here. Mari said it to Randall, and Christy said it to Kenny. Let's see what else we got. Yes, indeed. I said this in my last live. Let me tell you something about that little boy coming up the steps when Tabitha was having the vision of the slow walkers inside the house. I would have monkey kicked the shit out of that little motherfucker coming up the steps. I would have slid down his ass like a surfboard, right down them damn steps. What is you crouching up in the corner for like that? And the motherfuckers on the steps. Don't you know that's 101 right there? If a motherfucker on the steps and they trying to hurt you or do something to you, kick their ass down the goddamn steps. I mean, what was she even scared for? Like the other two, I got you. But yeah, I would have told her, Ethan, meet me at the front door. And I would have rolled the little kid down the steps like a sliding board, pause, and then hop right off of there. And me and Ethan is up out of that house, never to go in there ever again. Period. We going somewhere else. Yes, indeed. I wanted to talk about Tom wiping the glass with that rag in episode 6. Episode 6, Tom is wiping the glass with the rag. Now, I told you that you find this in hoodoo ritual. Wiping the glass with the rag is a hoodoo ritual that is to remove bad luck. All right. So what you do, a lot of people, they'll take shards of glass and pick them up with a rag. They'll break the glass purposely, pick the shards up with a rag, and run water over the shards in the rag. Okay. Also, you see Jade does the same thing. A man does what a man does. Yes, indeed. So, the Jade did the same thing with the rag. He put the glass inside the rag and he broke it on the table so that he can use the shards of glass to figure something out. Broken glass. I also want to point out how Fatima at the very beginning of the episode breaks glass. once again, we are having the theme of broken glass. Broken glass is one of the things that led me to the Vesica Pisces. Why? Because Tabitha was pushed out of the tower. And I've been talking about the Vesica Pisces in the ovum. The Vesica Pisces makes the shape of the ovum. The word ovum literally means egg. It literally translates to the word egg. So the breaking glass is what led me to that. Also, a tower is a phallic symbol. And for a woman to be pushed from a phallic symbol, we're talking period or period or the period. You know what I'm saying? Just like the one at the end of a sentence. You know what I mean? Or the woman's monthly what? Cycle. The cycle. So we talked about that as well. We talked about how things must be spinning. We talked about how things must be revolving in a cycle. How do we see this? We see the ballerina inside of the music box was spinning. They also showed us the gears when Boy broke the music box. Jade, he wears a watch. He's the only person wearing an actual timepiece watch. Randall has a digital watch on, but Jade has a timepiece watch that has gears in it, and we know what the watch does. It goes around and around and around with gears. Also, Tabitha was walking up the tower, the steps of the tower, and she saw the gears to the lighthouse. And that makes the lighthouse fixture itself turn around and around. So we do have a cyclical nature. Some of the reflector panes were broke on the tower. There, that was another point right here. It's right under here. Okay. Okay. So what is up with Ellis, guys? Does Ellis see into the future? Let me look through these pictures real quick because I have some evidence that Ellis might be able to see through the future as well in his dream. Let me find the pictures. I think I have the pictures in this folder. If I don't, they're in another folder. I'll grab them. For now, I'll put that up there. We see what that is. That is the Vesica Pisces. You see the fish's net. As a matter of fact, the fish's net right here is the pattern that we see on the lighthouse as well. We see the fish's net pattern on the lighthouse. If you look at the window, we see the fisher's hook. This was outside of Henry's house while Tabitha was walking down Victor's block. This fisher's coat was definitely shown in there as well. The fisher's coat. I wish I had the picture. I could show it to you. Hold on. But I'm looking for the evidence of Ellis actually being able to tell the future. I think Ellis saw into the future. And I'm going to make this point, guys. It doesn't look like anybody else is coming up. So I'm going to make this point. We're going to get out of here. I might go live tomorrow. I might just, you know what, y'all? I'm going to just start going live every day. You know what I mean? Like just for a couple of days, maybe a live at least for a half an hour a day. Meet up with y'all every day. We just get to the point. As I figure stuff out, I'll just point it out right on the live stream. Make a video out of it later, you dig? Just to stay ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? But because I don't like how the spoilers did me. The spoilers really fucked up this last video. It really, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna come out. I'm gonna drop the video, but I'm gonna probably just wait to the end of the season and I'm gonna explain everything in a little voiceover before I drop the video. I'll do that. But I'm gonna start going, you've been looking at the debunk spoilers. Oh, okay. I don't know, bro. I don't know. What I saw, I'm not gonna say what I saw on here. I might go on Discord and hop in the voice chat and we could talk about it there later on. If y'all up real late tonight, we'll have a little powwow. But yeah, if y'all up late tonight, we'll have a little powwow in the Discord. So if you're not on the Discord, hop on in the Discord because we're gonna have a powwow tonight. I'm gonna bring some images and everything. I saw some shit that I know I can't say on my YouTube channel. So okay. You okay, you wasn't talking to me, you talk. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can find those pictures that indicate Ellis is a soothsayer. Okay. And he doesn't even know it. I don't even think he's aware of it. I just think that Ellis is in his own bubble and he just be cooking up his little artwork. He's in his own world. He's drawing his girl. He got his own room at the top of Colony House. I don't even think he's caring about trying to figure out how to get out of that place until as of recent, since Tabitha's came back. I think that he was perfectly okay with this place, just like a lot of people. I think a lot of people in Colony House are very complicit with this place. Um, Hold on, let me just pull that out real quick. Oh yeah, it's all here. It's all here. Okay, let me share this other screen with you guys to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's your fishing net. You see the fisher's net right there. There's no mistake about that. This is this geometrical shape or outline or actual code. It's an actual code. This comes from the Vesica Pisces. This is where that comes from. Period. This is where my whole Vesica Pisces, my egg, my divine feminine theory, all of that came right there. The divine feminine is what they're talking about in there. Okay. Here's some of the images that I used. I even brought up the fallopian tube. This is the shape of the Holy Grail, guys. The phallic symbol. Okay. That's what the Holy Grail is shaped like. The woman's uterus. Okay, it's shaped like a cup. Julie was looking at the crescent moon, which is also shaped like a cup. That is the scene that they pretty much did a flashback with, which I thought was the craziest thing ever in this show, which hardly ever shows any kind of flashbacks. But this is what made me think that Ellis may be some sort of soothsayer. Okay, so I have two versions of this. This one, all right, so yeah, let's use this one. Okay, yeah, we'll use this one. I think that this is Tabitha's face. Do you see this is a woman's face right here? Can y'all see that? Do y'all see this right here? These circles right here, these are the circles from the reflector panes inside the lighthouse. Okay, hold on, let me find them. I've said this before. This isn't a whole video. So, if any of the spoilers contain any of the shit that I'll be talking about, I feel like I'm actually covered because I've been talking about this stuff for over a year. I've been talking about the Vesica Pisces. I've been talking about the egg stuff all throughout this season as well. And I don't get the fucking episodes. So, yeah, there's that. But I've been noticing some of these content creators that get the episodes sliding their little theories in there that actually are in these so-called spoilers, which I hope were just hoaxes. That's just wishful thinking. I'm just on board with my man Taran with that. Sometimes you gotta ride with your dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm riding with him because I hope that's what it is. It's not just me riding with him for the fuck of it. Like, I hope that that's literally what it is. I hope they was trolling the shit out of y'all, and that's what happened. I don't understand why they would give all the episodes out to a mystery box show like this. It just doesn't make sense. But hold on, let me find the pictures. Where's the pictures of Tabitha at the lighthouse? I'll be bugging with all these pictures. All of my shit is organized, you guys. It may look unorganized, but it's pretty much organized for the purpose of making my video. It's not for like the purpose of finding shit when I'm doing a live stream. So that's why I have to fish through there. But I know y'all enjoy hearing me talk. So and I enjoy talking. Y'all know I be out this motherfucker with a sore throat talking and everything else. I'm here for y'all. Yes, we here to cover this show. Hold on. Where are the pictures of Tabby at the lighthouse? Because this looks like her at the lighthouse, guys. Okay, there's this picture. Okay. Oh man, Okay, so these are just like anyway, these circles right here, you see these circles on the reflector panes the of the lighthouse fixture where the fire is at. Okay. Now, the way that you make this pattern back here is by doing this right here with circles, and then you put them together as the vesica Pisces, and you get the Fisher's net. That's how it happens. Okay. You have it is, I think it's called the eighth ovum, which means pretty much 8 eggs. Okay. I don't know why, but here's the moon. Okay. Here's how that whole theory came about was Fatima pulling the curtain back to the right so Julie could look at this crescent moon, and Tabitha pulls the curtain to the left so she can look at the sun. Okay. This connection is very important to this show. I've been telling y'all that. I don't know if y'all believe that. I don't know if y'all rocking with me, but this is where I got the vesica Pisces and the egg theory from. And we've been seeing the egg all through every single episode from Victor's father. What is it? Let me see. The eggs are all over the place. What do we have? We got Victor's father owing the cops a dozen. We have Tabitha was on the 12th floor at the hospital. They put T and Chen's picture on the 12 slotted egg tray. Tilly was licking eggs. Okay. We got rotten eggs inside of the compost pile when Fatima was digging for some kimchi. All right. She wanted a little bit of fermented vegetables, and she got a taste for some Colony House kimchi. And there were some eggshells in that shit. Okay. I've been saying all of this stuff since last year, and here we are. It's coming to fruition. Look, here, this is where I was talking about the gears and stuff. This is all from last year. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we this is the memento mori right here. Actually, this is from the Starving Time. This is Smithsonian as the skull of the little girl that I believe that vision that Jade is having, the dude drinking from this skull right here. This is the skull, or that's what it represents in hidden terminology. That's my belief on that. It looks like a child's skull. But yes, I can't find the picture that I'm looking for, guys. But next time I'll have it. I'm going to make a folder of all my artifacts specifically for live stream, because I think that I'm going to start doing lives every single day, at least for half an hour, just to keep the skills tight, dropping some videos in between, and we just got to pick it up a little bit. I just feel like I owe you guys that. So let me look at some of these. The egg is a snow globe. Okay. But not rotten veg like Fatima. Okay. No beef, I'm veggies. Yeah, that's messed up. Yo, Amy, this shit is fucking crazy how they did that with the leaks. I really hope if I talk to Taran all the time. Y'all know that. We couldn't really get into detail about, because we don't want to spoil nobody. I've seen the spoilers that were leaked. Okay. I hate that shit. I hate that happened. But I haven't seen any of the other stuff. Taran has. He's been my homie. He's been going and checking it out. And he's like, yo, look, this is the evidence that I have. I think there is an alternate ending. His evidence is compelling, to say the least. And if it wasn't, I'd be like, yo, bro, just accept that that's what it is. That's what they wanted to do with their show. This is their shit. This ain't our shit. You know what I'm saying? But no, I got to give it to him that evidence is compelling. But I'll leave us on that note, and I will see you again maybe tomorrow. You'll see me tomorrow. I'm going to just drop it in an express to let you guys know. I'll give you at least 2 hours notice. You know what I mean? Did an interview with Fatima with Movie Blog, Stephanie Farah, and she was behaving very aloof and saying he knew more than she did. Very suspect. Yes, I caught that interview. I love that interview. That interview was very dope. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. I caught that interview as well. Fatima did do that interview. Um, part of my she said something that screams part of my theory, and I can't even say nothing right now, yo. Like she said something in that interview with the movie blog. Go check out the movie blog's interview if somebody got it in here before we can get out of here. Go check that out. Um, Fatima said something in that interview, and when I drop my video and when I start talking about it, y'all gonna be like, real knew that shit. Real knew it. Real said it. Real been saying it for a year. So it is what it is. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Just a little something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for the live stream this evening. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.